Though we will have to... Does it distinguish between YouTube and Twitch comments? I believe so. We'll find out as soon as we get a YouTube chatter in here. What about that? Just up there. I kind of like that for now. I'll make that way prettier for next time. But if I go and look at Matt Mercer's beautiful face... And let me put that underneath me so it looks like it's disappearing into me. Hey, success. Thank you, Silence. It does. It does. And the best thing is I have my chat here, which shows me everything, which is beautiful. It's beautiful. What's up, CB Flam? How are you? Evening again, bro. What's up, Giannis? Don't worry, these streams aren't going to be as common, because I was live yesterday. I don't want to overwhelm people, but I want to do them more often. I was just excited. I was excited to play around. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have tried streaming before, but there's an excitement about playing around with OBS and figuring out the chat, and with all this multi-streaming stuff, I was just like eager to jump on. Hello there. I'm not sure how this stream is going to go, if I'm being completely honest, just because I don't know if people will be that interested in watching the Critical Role finale on here, especially since it came out like 2 days ago on YouTube, and you can watch it over there. And I don't know to what degree I'm going to actually be digging into this. Like, I have like a checklist where I want to see how Matthew Mercer does things. So what I'm saying is, people might come in being like, oh yeah, I want to watch the whole thing with you. And other people might be like, I just want to learn like what you're doing and like your insights on how Mercer is DMing. And I'm fine either way, but right now I'm kind of thinking no one wants to watch 8 hours of Critical Role with me in the corner yapping away. So I kind of want to just watch this Critical Role finale. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the last episode of Critical Role of their campaign 3. And I'm not sure, but there's been rumors that it's might be the last one set in Exandria, which I don't believe, but maybe. 8 hours of Critical Role with you yapping away. It's going to be me pausing a lot as well, which would lead to it being like 12 hours long. I'm not doing that, Lethal Smile. I'm not doing it. Hold on, what have I done here? Oh, there we go. There we go. I was looking at just one chat. What is the streaming schedule usually? I barely stream normally, so I'm wanting to get into it. I'm testing it out. I want to see if it's worthwhile. This month is me going 100%. I'm trying to do weekly videos, live streams, and shorts to see if I can make enough money to live. And if not, if I can't make enough money to live, going all out, then I know I will still make stuff, but I'll go get a job. Fine, I'll go get a job. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to give it one final, real push. So right now, I think the stream schedule is 3 times a week, at least for the next couple of weeks. But then I am off on holiday at the beginning of March, so there'll be a break there for sure. I might come back. That's when I'll have looked at my finances and know what the plan is going forward. Jeez, okay, be responsible. It was something I always made fun of people for. Before I started this YouTube channel, I tried live streaming on Twitch. Like when COVID hit, I was like, I'll just play video games and jump on Twitch and have a great time. And then I made a bunch of friends who were other streamers over there, and I was streaming to I have like 6 average viewers, and it would be the other streamers, and we'd all be in each other's chat, and no one was really like growing. But the second someone got to like 10 average viewers, they'd be like, I'm quitting my job. And I was like, don't quit your job. What are you doing? Keep going, but don't quit your job. And I've always made fun of people who kind of quit their job early before they were able to actually support themselves. And then now I'm in this position. I'm like, I don't want anyone to think that like I'm an idiot for like not having a job right now. So it's on me. It's not on anyone else. But yeah. But my situation was different. I got laid off, so I was like, I'll give it a whirl. But yeah. The Spiffing Brit has a series on how to push YouTube metrics and systems to their limits. E.g., he made a 30-minute video, then cut it down to 15 minutes, so retention was crazy. I watched that video. That whole series is fascinating. It's really interesting. I've actually tried that on my channel. I've tried like cutting out the ends of videos and stuff to see if it did anything. I've not noticed a difference of in mine, but obviously Spiffing Brit is 100 times bigger than me, so. They've already put up this Thursday's game, and it's Exandria, right? Well, I know there's going to be a Brendan Lee Mulligan Exandria thing as well. But yeah, this live stream, fundamentally, the plan is right now to watch, like, skip through this episode of Critical Role. And I personally am most interested in how he recaps at the start and like how he kind of brings the whole campaign together leading into this. I think that's going to be really impressive. I think Matt's going to do a great job of that. And then I want to know how he, if there's combat in here, which I presume there will be, how he handles combat. Specifically, like, how difficult is it? Because it's supposed to be the most difficult combat, you know, of the whole campaign. And it's supposed to mean something. And then I want to know how he ends combat. What does that, how do you want to do this work like? If there's combat, they had a big combat last session. So, we'll see. And just for transparency's sake, I watched the last episode while like cooking and doing chores. So I was like half and half. And then I want to get the general vibe and tone of how you finish something like this. And finally, I want to see how they end it. Like, what is the final cool down moment to the end of this campaign? I think it'd be really, really interesting. So, is there the usual timestamp comment? That's no. Not yet, anyway. Oh, hold on. Okay, so we get like an inkling at the bottom here of like they all spend 10 minutes. They all spend 10 minutes talking about what the future is for their character. So, but no, nothing like that. But we can find it. I feel like Critical Role tends to run a very similar formula. But yeah. How was my first combat? Actually, you mean my first combat with the new monster manual? Hold. My very first combat. Okay. Wait, what did I do for my very first combat? That is such an interesting question. What did I do for my very first combat? My very first. Oh man. My very first combat was just against these like underwater. Can't remember the name of them. I got them for the monster manual. There are these underwater like ghoul-like creatures. And I remember like falling in love with the idea of them like I explained way too much of them coming out the water, like these creepy things, and really spoke them up as these really dangerous creatures, and my players just wrecks them in like one hit. It's like, okay, I spent longer describing the combat than I actually did the combat itself. My very first combat was fun. My second ever combat was like against a giant shark thing, and it took forever. And that's when I realized like I don't like enemies with just tons of health. I just don't like it at all. I'd rather have like a few enemies with low health who hit like mofos and just, yeah. All right. Well, I might as well get started. Also, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, it would mean the world to me if you liked the video, just down at the bottom there. I don't know how much that does, but it's got to do something, right? So yeah, chuck a like down there. And if you are on Twitch right now, throw me your Twitch primes. Give me those Twitch primes. Why not? It's free money. Let me pause the music. And you guys tell me if this is too loud.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role.
Can you hear that at all?
Nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons.
I don't think you can hear that. Hold on. Oh, can you? Wait. Oh, you can hear that.
Thank you for joining us on what is likely to be the conclusion of our third campaign.
Is it too loud compared to me?
Before we come into this episode, we do have some announcements to get through this evening.
It sounds loud in my head.
Beginning with the first. Tonight's sponsor, our dear friends at Hit Point Press.
Both
Sam.
my Twitch
a new
and my
year
YouTube.
Means new RPGs and accessories from Hit Point Press. Let's hold them up,
Great
everyone.
name.
From
Resubscribe for
Humblewood,
2
Fool's
months.
Gold,
That's
Big
huge
Bads,
with
The
Prime,
Fable
thank
Makers,
you.
Deck of Many
Yes,
Things,
throw me those
miniatures, big
primes.
miniatures, puzzles, and trading
It's a bit too
card
loud compared
frames.
to me. All right, let me
HitPointPress.com has got your...
let me turn that down. Let me turn it down a little bit.
Gaming sorted. Matt, I gotta say, as we come into this episode,
Okay, it's that.
sponsorship, because it might be the last one of campaign 3. There's so many
I think that's
other
probably quite good.
ideas for ad bits.
Oh, is that
I
too
didn't
quiet?
get to do.
This could be
Some were too
some
raunchy,
faffing
or too
around.
weird, or Marisha just said no to them flat out. But Hit Point Press is so cool that they said as long as I plugged their awesome products, I could finally do all the stuff I wanted to do in my ad bits, but never got the chance. So, sit back and enjoy.
All right, let's find the recap. Wait, what's that? Oh, it's a weird one of Sam's ad reads. What is happening there? And okay.
Doing.
Come on, where's the opening thing?
It.
But yeah, let me know if that's too quiet now. Solid stuff. I'm so happy I've sorted out the chart. I've got a combined chart now that I'm looking at. I don't have to look at 2 places at once. It's very nice. Imagine me and Matt Mercer on D table. I mean, he's the dream DM for me. I would love it. But imagine like just a game that is just like all the DMs that I talk about playing. I'd love to see that when they with those there's a homebrew rule where like every 20 minutes or something the DM shifts to another player, and that would be so fun. JR Toking, Streamlabs for chat. No, I'm using Streambot, which was kind of annoying to set up, but I think I've figured it out now. Maybe a smidgen lower if you plan on talking over them, but if you're going to be pausing when I talk, should be good. Yeah, I'm hoping to mostly pause when I talk. I want people to be able to hear them. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm back. So, last we left off, through the chaos of Bells, Hells, Vox Machina, and Mighty Nine, and many other heroes that rise up to try and halt the unbridled emergence of the God Eater. Bell's Hells finally is delivered to the core of the moon Ruidus, where they battle with Predathos itself, which now, upon its defeat, remains dormant temporarily within its vessel, Imogen Tumult. After passing beyond the boundaries that kept it locked away for an untold amount of history, you begin to step to your trek back towards Exandria. Tense interactions with some of the holy armies that marched upon the moon to stop what you are doing at all costs, without maybe understanding the intent behind it. You eventually are given passage to Vasselheim itself. In the moments of a dimmed sky, which we will return to momentarily.
Thank you, Silence. No, that is absolutely a huge shout. You know what we'll do? We'll literally take this screenshot right now for my thumbnail. 1 second. My stream team hard at work. I appreciate it. Right, so if I go... and I literally grab this. How about that? Perfect. Okay, and then... But yeah, there's an annoying amount of stuff to think of, especially with YouTube streaming. Okay, and now... Yeah, I might make a video, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to watch the whole thing, DXBZ. Not on stream. I want to watch the whole thing. But on stream, I was thinking about just skipping through 2 parts that I kind of want to see. So, like, I wanted to see the recap, which we're watching now. I want to see how they handle any combat or anything. I want to see how they end it. And I don't know. Have you seen a Joe Cat video to this? No, he's done one. Has he watched? Did he watch the whole thing? I thought Joe Cat was I thought Joe Cat quit. I appreciate the work you do, so only read certificate. Fair. Okay. Yes. Sorry, I'm literally clickbaiting people right now on YouTube, so I need to fix that. Edit. Thumbnail change. Save. Okay, now the thumbnail should be fixed. Right. Time to paint some minis. Thanks for being great background sound. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Momentarily. For back within the core of Ruidus, amongst the scattered subterranean tunnels, a wayward troop of adventurers responsible for defeating the Weave Mind and dealing with those who remained to surrender within and around the Arx Creonum, the Mighty Nine, shoulder to shoulder with the battered but still surviving Gaztomo and other members of the Volition, suddenly received a message to Mr. Caleb here, Mr. Caleb Widogast. Bell's Hells asking for their aid, some way to free themselves from Ruidus, to get out from where they were, though not enough to actually find or gather where they might currently reside. And as such, hours have passed since.
Good.
And there we find them scattered amongst the dark underground, the smell of fungus, and a distant sad echo to each word spoken of a relatively silent world.
What is Matt's deal here? Because it's like prepared, but he's not reading off the auto cue. Do you think he has notes below him and he's just very good at like looking at people and he's like practiced it? Or do you think he's making it up on the spot? Or do you think he's just memorized it? I would love to know. I would love to know how he does recaps.
So a few hours later, then, knowing vaguely where they went, but not...
And I should say, as far as recaps go, that was a pretty standard recap. I wouldn't have thought... Like, that didn't feel like a finale recap. I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting like a much longer-winded one about the whole campaign. You know, like summarizing everything. But that was just straight into it, really, which is interesting. Also, I don't know. I think I respect it, but I thought they were going to dress up a little bit. But I guess, no, like, it doesn't feel like a huge deal so far. But maybe that's just them being humble.
Not knowing the lay of the land, we have been trying to spiral our way down.
I imagine so.
I just think it's really rude, you know, to send a message and say you need help and then not give any kind of follow-up.
You're saying that they're bad at sending messages?
Yeah, they're
Like
really shit at it.
Yeah,
Well, they may have other strengths that make up for their lack of performance skills. Just
Maybe they're dead.
Oh my gosh, what if they asked us to get us out and then you didn't show up, Caleb, and then they all died?
This is on me.
I'm just saying.
That is true. Yeah, stay in costume for... This is 8 hours long, you know, but that is true. It was insane live watch. What was chat like? I wish I could have seen it. Could source out some major timestamps if you want. Yeah, I think... I mean, let me know. If you think if I skip forwards and you think I skipped something important, let me know. And I can go back. But yeah, this is experimental. This is experimental. This feels cheeky anyway, just like reacting to someone else's work. So it's an interesting one. I love Robbie's nameplate here. Robbie, happy to be here. Wait, what? Why is he the only one that's different? That's great. And it's his actual picture. Oh, because he's not in Mighty Nine. Right. That's so good. Right, it's the Mighty Nine. Oh, man. The idea of them switching characters is something that I love. And I think it was earlier this campaign when they first introduced... I think they introduced the Mighty Nine first, and then they introduced certain members of Vox Machina, but Matt did all the voices, and they were just NPCs. And I wonder, and that confused me. I didn't like that much, because I'm like, it's their player characters. So it's nice that they've switched around to this, and now they're controlling it. But I guess if you're a DM and they're such important NPCs, you don't want to give the players too much power, because they could go a completely baffling direction that you are just not prepared for. But I love the idea of it. Some moments were insane for chat. Yeah, cool. It was very disjointed when they had 2 or 3 groups together. Fun, but too chaotic. Well, the beauty of this group is that I don't want to say that they're voice actors. Like, anyone can do it, but they've chosen very different voices for each character. You could be terrible at voices, and you could still completely change the way you speak for each character. I think it's so important if you're doing stuff like this, because they could switch mid-sentence and you would know which character is talking, which is really impressive. There was 1 or 2 moments Matt says a name or location and chat lost it. Interesting.
It is all your fault.
Most things are. Caducey, is there anything you can do about this smell?
Oh, I hadn't
I don't
noticed.
mind it, actually.
No,
Could we do the fungus smell? Are there any of these we can eat?
I don't think this is fungus. I'm not sure. I've never seen it before in my life. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you what the smell was. That's...
CB Plam, I'm terrible at voices as well. Terrible. I can't do accents. I don't know how I sound when I do voices, but I can at least, like, with certain characters I can talk really fast, and that's how I talk with that character, and other characters are more slow and methodical, so you can kind of at least get a difference there. But one of the big criticisms I get when I try and talk about Critical Role and like when I talk about this table as if it's a normal home game, the biggest criticism I get against that is how forward they all are with role playing. Not how good they all are at role playing. That's just a bonus. It's how willing they are to do it. And right now, like Matt finished the recap, and they've immediately gone into full roleplay mode. And Matt's not said anything for a while, unless he's like an NPC answering back. And I have a few players in my latest game who are like role players, and it's completely shifted everything compared to my old game where everyone was new players and coming out of their shell. This new game is like closer to this, where I can just let them go, and then they will leave me little threads. It's like they're leading the dungeon master in a weird way, and I can grab those threads, and it's completely changed the game. So it's I don't know. I don't think it's like a play. It's like an experience thing. I think it's an experience thing more than it is like, oh, I need the right players. I think if you play with players long enough and you leave them the room to role play, then eventually they will start and they'll do it more and more and more. Try bonus action. What voices? His lighting, some points in part 1, is just ethereal, so intense, and it's caused by a PC doing something you'll know when you see it. Okay, I'm down.
I can do some quick chemical analysis of it.
That's where I'm at. It's new players, so role playing is a bit lacking. Yeah, I found the easiest way to bring people out of their shell for that is to play NPCs that are just like, A, directly tied to their backstory, and B, that are either incredibly annoying or just bafflingly weird. Because for some odd reason, it makes them want to ask more. It's like, what is this NPC? And it kind of comes out from them because they want to know more about the NPC. In my experience, anyway. Also, guys, let me know if enough people are like skip to next part. Let me know, and I will.
Rubbing
Otherwise,
your fingers.
I'm into this.
Really gross.
I really have a lot of
Not in your mouth.
If you would like to make a nature check.
I'll lick things.
Sure.
And first roll last
How they
episode.
discover penicillin.
Ooh,
I can't read what that
that's
is.
really good.
Oh, it's a
Oh, you
17.
can't read
No,
it.
it's just all shit. Oh. Get shit out.
Yeah. Fair play.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. It definitely has kind of a fungusy, mildewed flavor to it, but it has contrasting textures. And as you kind of bring it up to taste this weird material, this like faint kind of purple, almost like a spongy material, it kind of pulls away, and there is kind of almost like a yellowish green contrasting texture to it that has a very sweet kind of decay flavor to it. As you kind of pull back, you see the material, this fungus, it's shifting. There's some sort of like almost like something is growing within the dark color and kind of occupying the vacuous space between.
You guys ever played in a campaign with level 20 characters? I've never done it. I want to so badly, but I have a feeling I'd try it once and hate it and never want to go back.
This is alive. This thing is alive.
Well, I'm really glad that we didn't try and interrupt it then. It clearly is, I don't know, it's going through something. Maybe it's pregnant. Maybe this is some sort of...
Pregnant? What?
I didn't know mushrooms could get pregnant.
I did.
We are somewhere beyond our wildest dreams. Who knows how any of this works?
Session 207 with the group at 14th level. You maxed out like 50 in the past.
Maybe Ford has a point.
Yeah,
Do we need to do a little stompy?
I want to. I really want to. I'd want to build up to it. I'd want to go through like all the other levels. I wouldn't want to just do a level 20 campaign.
You can see like the actual fungus in this cavern permeates probably the majority of the surrounding surfaces, the walls and the ceiling around you. There is rock, but as the light passes by, the rock seems to be coated. And you can see now as it passes through it's almost like like two separate trees have grown together with two different textures. And it's not to the light.
You've been in a 7-year campaign where you got to 20 and beyond for like 5 years, and it's great moments, but overall I want to go back to lower levels. Hold on, wait. Am I reading that right? You've been level 20 for 5 years. No. I've been in a 7-year campaign where we've gone to 20 and beyond for like 5 years. Yeah, you've been 20 and above for 5 years. Your last campaign ended level 20, lasted about 3.5 years. Yoda, I bet that was really fun. I'm a PC where we were level 19 and DMing for a group that just made level 15. It's a lot, but still fun. Yeah. I just feel like the average D&D game, if you go to level 20, it starts off fast. Like, leveling up is fast if you do milestones. It's like everyone's level 1, but things get so much more fun leading up to level 5. So you level up every 2 sessions. You're like boom, 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 level up. Then around level 5 or 4 even, you start to slow down because you're like, okay, let's let people live and breathe in these characters at these levels. Let them get used to what they can do because it'll be too overwhelming otherwise. And then you do that to like level 10, 11, and then I've never been that much higher. But I presume you just start speeding up again. You probably start leveling up every 2 sessions after that because nothing really matters. It's like whose line is it anyway? The points don't matter anymore. You just want to get to that level 20 gold mine. The game is best between 5 to 9 or so. 5e struggles at high levels in your opinion. Yeah, I wonder if the new Player's Handbook and Monster Manual has fixed that. It just becomes wildly unbalanced. That was always my thing. It just becomes wildly unbalanced. Like between what players can do, even. But I know, we'll see.
Hits it that the color variations almost seem to have their own pattern. And you faintly can see movement, like they're still tethering. They're
These
still
funguses are boning right now.
Yes,
They're getting pregnant.
They are coming together.
DXBZ, is that what you recommend we go to next?
We should not step on it if
Yeah,
it
you
is
don't interrupt.
alive.
Hold on. Is there... Oh my god, it's so long. Are there any visual hints over here? So they have a break. Do they have... How many breaks do they have? They have a break at 2 hours, 50 minutes. And then they have... no other breaks. They just go for it. Holy crap. Oh man. It's a good job they're getting paid. Jesus. Oh. Just spoiled that for myself a little bit there. Interesting.
Also,
Love
it's
making.
growing really fast. If we make it angry.
Oh, after the break was filmed on a second day. It's 2 days. Okay, thank you, Lethal. I did not know that. Level 20 is very much a kill or be killed scenario. The best encounters are narrative and puzzle encounters because they don't rely on the CR system and dice rolls as much. Yeah, true that. I think the highest level in my party has been is level 17 in a 3-year campaign. That was secretly a dream reality. Oh no, did you wake up at the end and you were still level 1? Oh, you did? When you died via matron and woke up in Faerun in our real bodies at level 3? That sucks. That sucks. That's some how do we make a new Zelda game? And they lose all their equipment level stuff. Oh, the fires. The LA fires? Right. Fair enough. If you want to skip the collection of groups, then 120 is a good start for Bell Cells. Okay, you know what? I might do that. I just landed on that perfectly. Oh, look at the lighting difference.
To not be forgotten. During those times where you were not present.
I do have a question for people who've watched this. Is there any combat? Wait, no. Waiting. I'm holding. Going back to 1. You want me to go back to when the lighting shifts, or...? No combat. Oh, man.
So we
Okay,
returned
they had a
to
lot of
look
combat last
forward
session,
for
I guess.
some.
But that's interesting that there's no combat in a final
Those who have
session.
been there. It's not so bad.
I should take notes of that, actually.
But what of our realms if we're not here? The matron responds.
It makes sense, kind of. Like, no
Should we
combat.
die?
Sorry. I'm sorry, this is annoying. It makes sense, because having no combat in the final session on something this big, that's gone for how many years? 3 years? No combat means that you can take all the narrative lines and tie everything up. And especially if they're planning stuff for the future, they can take it all and like really hype that up as well. So that does make sense. So yeah, no combat. Thanks for the white lights. Got ya. DXBZ, if we had just watched it normally. No, I'm kidding.
Opposing line.
You've saved time, thank you.
Bells Hells. You have stepped into the very center of the moon of Ilomen.
Yeah, it's like an
Charged with
epilogue,
the
exactly,
means
yeah.
Of our Pantheon's salvation.
No worry,
Conflicting reports
DX.
speak
I just thank you for
Perhaps
helping.
you were agents for the God Eater. Please clarify what you represent and what news you bring back.
We don't have time. That's the news we bring. It doesn't matter what you think. We didn't go there to sow chaos. We went there to help. And we're running out of time.
We seek counsel with the gods.
Do I think the threat of gods like Asmodeus was severely underplayed in the campaign? I think this whole campaign has been weird. Like, it's had very weird ups and downs with stuff like that. Like, there's been a lot of build up to things without really going too far, and then the smaller things have built up into bigger stuff. If that makes sense. And because of that, I think this campaign gets a lot of flack for not feeling like a home game, but I think it does narratively.
It is imperative that we talk to them as soon as possible.
Earthbreaker
What's up,
Bruin,
Rufus?
off to the side of the front line, speaks. And what of Brodothos?
We stopped Ludinus from using his power.
The only option we had was to contain it. For the time being.
Right, yeah.
Where is it contained? And with his voice, you swear you can hear a crackle of thunder rolling in the distance as the cloud grows darker on the periphery.
Orm just steps in front of Imogen, in front of the entire crowd. That's his answer.
The High Bearer acknowledges with the faintest of nods. And the only time you've ever seen fear enter the eyes of one of the eldest Dawn Marshals of the eldest city. She bears the God Eater. What do you intend?
Do you expect us to tell you? We're here to talk to the gods.
Travis is such a hype man, and I love it. I would love to play with him. He's so good.
Represent the pantheon of this world, and have for generations. People have died and given their entire family's future to see your safety to your destination.
I've also just realised that I'm like covering Sam and Robbie's face with my hair. Yeah, that feels a bit disrespectful.
All we ask is clarity.
We seek counsel with them to ensure their survival.
And it's at this point, emerging from the opposite side of the circle, the black-veiled mistresses of the matron step from the outer edge.
Oh, what am I doing? There's a nice freaking.
Stress me out, man.
Go to her.
Is that disrespectful? Support the stream, and I'm like,
One of
you know,
them
support me.
steps forward and
It's
plucks
fine.
what looks like a black bead of obsidian and kind of rolls it into the snow before her.
Yeah.
And it kind of carves a path before the black begins to roll out. And then it casts this faintest shade that extends out hundreds of feet, like a black bird expanding its wings impossibly wide. There's a communal
Okay, DX.
gasp and the sound of armor shuffling as soldiers step onto their back foot as weapons clatter to their side. And you watch as this black bird-like form, immaterial but present, rises into a spectral shape of a cloaked female, her white mask standing,
Oh.
protective of your troop. Like
Oh,
a dome.
hold on. This is gonna bug me. I can't let it fly. Now that I've moved my thing over there and I'm looking at the screen, it looks like I'm looking in the wrong direction. I just have to flip myself. I'm so sorry, guys. I can't transform. Nope, I'm upside down now. Bad move. Okay, and now. There we go. Now I'm looking in the right direction. I think upside down is right. Are you upside down right now?
Of black sheer silk.
She's like over top of us?
That's cool as hell.
If you look up, you can see straight up her dress. Is she wearing panties?
She is. They're kind of dirty.
Oh boy.
Panties? That's gross.
It's an endless void.
Do you think they'd give me some of those ball bearings?
Is that where we go when we die?
Yeah.
Sure hope so.
Yeah.
In the cold stillness, the echoing voice of the matron
The children.
rings out like crashing waves of static and resonant, godly words. They carry the egg that would eat all. But they do so at the behest of all of our futures. They are here with my protection. And I would ask all of yours. For as it was said, there is not much time.
Okay. I've just realized that this is such a good play as a DM to always have like some kind of incredibly powerful, if not godlike deity who is on the player's side but can't show up that often. But it means that you can fundamentally, if your players get themselves into really sticky situations, as a DM, narratively, you can like create changes to the game by just bringing in these powerful characters without like feeling like you're just the DM being like, you know what, I'm just gonna let that happen, which is just interesting to me.
At which point, the wind begins to pick up around her and the cloak begins to swirl and spin. You see the faces of the thousands around looking at you kind of becoming more gray and vague, like their details, the sharpness begins to blur.
Oh, thank you, Dialone. That means a lot.
Like a boundary
Dialone,
is being
Dialone.
drawn that leaves them in a distant dream beyond your current acknowledgement and understanding. The clouded, somewhat sunset-broken skies grow gray and dark, and indeed you look up into the shadow of the arched matron's visage, and you see from the core of her the skein of golden threads stretching out. And as each begins to reach the distant horizon, you see sparks begin to glide along them. As the sparks grow closer and closer, shapes become visible. You see the spectral image of some hooded, cloaked, wraith-like entity as it seems to almost slither along this thread. You see flickers of glass-like eyes and fangs snapping through the wind as it comes. Another, you see brighter than the others, a burning star-like ball, and it looks like the shining, glistening set of armor. One by one, the images and consciousnesses of the various gods of Exandria begin to drown out your vision of the city itself, until here, under her shadow, you are surrounded by a council. At times, just colors and pillars of shifting emotion. And with a blink for a moment, you see clear shapes. A bearded, muscular man who seems to roil like the storm. You see a woman of white hair and an endless, unraveling spool of scrolls. You see a dark, squat and furious being, its jaw filled with teeth of a bleeding eye. You see the shadow of extending spined arms, 8, from a female form. You see a squat, chiseled man, himself adorned with all manner of tool and hammer, stone in form and rigid and timeless, a pillar of strength. One by one, they all flicker into view and then pass into color and formlessness, here in this communal vision. And it's at this moment that all of them become aware of you.
No.
What you know to be the Dawn Father speaks first. Matron, why do you call the family here?
So, one thing very noticeable, when people are like, don't compare yourself to Critical Role games, there is one thing that is a major difference that isn't because it's an actual play or anything like that, but the players take it seriously. And the fact that no one has, in this moment, no one has they're kind of left an opening for a few seconds, see if anyone would talk, and no one did. And I feel like in most home games, someone would have something sassy to say. Mitrados, evening, how's it going?
Where do we stand on the
Literally holding
precipice of
council with
oblivion?
all the gods, indeed.
The matron shrinks and instead joins your presence.
Oh.
Human height. In that same position. Is it subservience? Is it solidarity? You're uncertain. But her presence isn't felt smaller. More, you represent a unit. These 8 are the only keys any of us have to survival. And I believe they have earned the right to share the path forward. Her mask turns and faces you, Imogen. Show them what you carry.
I turn toward the Dawnfather. And I let the fury of Predathos, that feels like almost vertigo inside of me, come to the surface for a moment. And all of my lightning flares very bright, and I look into his eyes so he can see.
For a brief, flickering moment, you...
No, I welcome off-topic questions. Do you have experience DMing over or playing as a summon-heavy character like a necromancer, and could give tips of how to make it table-friendly to play? I've never DM'd, I've certainly never played a necromancer or anything like that. I've never DM'd any characters that are like constantly summoning. I've had my fair share of like experience with familiars and characters that can like create familiars as well, like the alchemist, the artificer alchemist. But as far as like characters that are summoning a lot of different things, no, I don't have much experience. Discourage it in 5e unless you have a small group of 2 or 3. It can turn into a lot in combat. And if I was running a game like that where there was going to be a lot of little guys running around, lots of summons, if that's what you mean by that, I would be I would not be doing Theatre of the Mind. It would be 100% either a VTT or terrain and minis, and I would have very specific minis to show different summons. But it's a lot. It's difficult. But I bet it's fun. I bet it is fun. Look at my chat's popping up at the top there. Hold on. For larger numbers or summons, working with a DM to get a swarm type stat block to manage them easier. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. One thing I've always disliked in D&D is whenever like summons or anything, I guess summons the wrong term, but whenever you have anything that is added to a fight caused by a player or an enemy that has its own initiative, I don't like that. I'm just like, you know what? You just go after the player, no matter what, because it's so much easier to track. And it's kind of on the player to remember, like, hey, during your go, also move your familiar or whatever. But yeah.
You see Imogen, but you see around her.
But I wish you the best of luck.
Immaterial shape of extending red and blue. Kind of a clouded concept of hunger and flesh and crystal. You see the protean image of what you've just battled in the core of Ruidus. And in that moment, all of the gods flare, burning brightly. All the color of the chamber shifts. And suddenly you are now engulfed in white light from all sides, as now the shapes that defined them melt away, and instead, you just see 24
balls of energy
beings.
Yeah.
Not unlike the first visions that you had in the ruins of Aor. You see how they were before they came here. Brought and fearful. One of them speaks up.
Well then, should we eat her? Is that how we stop it? Eat the eater?
And other voices. I think not. I'm more interested in, who goes first. Do we start to run now? After all, it's only the slowest that need to worry. Another voice peeks out from the opposite side from the flashing of color and movement. Our children would not abandon us. If they wished us dead and gone, it would be unleashed already. Hear them out. All of them, as you feel their attention focus onto the matron. And you see one of them kind of shift and be like, or both of them. And you see the faintest dark spot beyond the shoulders of them. A flicker of darkness. A burning flame in one shape that looks like an eye. Before it flickers out of view.
Look at Travis's face.
Tell them what you've seen, Bell's House. Tell them what you've done.
I think you
tell
might,
them
Al.
what we can do
It sounds like you are
to free us all.
more familiar than I am, DXPZ, but I believe you.
As you can see, I have Predathos contained. His power grows. But there is a little time. I joined with him on Ruides. There wasn't another choice. But when I was within his mind, if you can call it that, I saw those of you that he had destroyed already. There were two. When I joined with him, I could sense all of you. And I felt that hunger. I feel it now. But everything else disappeared. The mortals on Exandria, they were darkness. They didn't exist to Predathos. So, we offer you a chance at survival. You mentioned running. That is something you can do. We won't stop you from doing what you want, obviously, but if you don't want to run, if you'd like to stay with your children, we offer you the chance to do what you did before, what we witnessed you doing before, which is to accept a mortal form.
Oh.
You feel this rumble strike through them. The one that roils and flashes like a storm.
They hold us hostage. Our creations hold us hostage.
Another voice in the back goes,
Indeed. Perhaps we earned it in time.
another familiar voice goes,
Oh, trust me, they're very good and very clever.
This episode also has one of the most important roles in all of Critical Role history.
I've had quite a few conversations with him, and they're cleverer than you think.
Do they full on just say, like, if you roll badly, it's the
Matron does.
end of Exandria?
I have been working with them. And though you may view me from outside your kin, I do care about each and every one of you.
Not exactly. Ooh, okay.
Each and every one of you. As she turns
But
around,
also,
so
yeah,
you can
okay,
see
okay,
that
I'll
she
get there, I'll
scans
get
the
there.
Various, where you assume the heads
What?
would be.
All right.
And they are in different...
For those who don't know about this, what do we reckon this roll will be? What check? I'm going to say it's going to be a persuasion check. But we'll see. Hard to say without saying too much. Okay, no, yeah, save it, save the information. But yeah, I think it's going to be persuasion. But we'll see. Is it a check or a saving throw? We'll find out.
Different places. One, you can see its form writhing like a worm, with multiple arms kind of flickering and shifting.
Yeah.
You see one.
That's what I'm
massive
thinking.
curled
Maybe a
horns
performance
that burn
check.
back, bit of flame flickering on its shoulders. As it
Mark for lots
flickers
of
past
okay.
you,
Okay.
Grace, you
I'm
feel
excited.
This fire burning your chest as it nods.
Now I look like Grog in the morning.
You see one whose hair seems to drift and extend endlessly and almost encircles the others, itself an extension of the horizon. You see one that looms behind, a massive beast of shifting heads, of hooked, toothed mouths.
The one that looms behind sounds like a god in itself.
Itself.
The one that
The
looms.
colors shifting as it glances. You have never felt more small and more powerful.
Solid narration.
The rites of ascension have been reassembled, rewritten, reconfigured. We now weave the fabric of reality, concept, and possibility into the rites of katatheosis. All the gods kind of pause.
Because they don't know what that word means.
Who's going to admit it? Who's going to admit it?
But the falling
Fucking hate cats.
Man, I love Chris Carroll's ability to switch in and out like that
One of the
of
voices,
humor and like
soft,
seriousness. It's really impressive.
stern.
They just let it all
We
go and then they
return to
rein it
mortal
in.
Form for some. For those who have been there, it's not so bad. But what of our realms if we're not here? The matron responds. Should we die, our realms fade with us. Predathos devouring our essence. The souls of the claimed return to the Eidolon cycle. And we are no more. But if we bind ourselves to katatheosis, we bind ourselves to Exandria as the Kreen bind themselves to their beloved Luxon. Diminished, perhaps, but no more than our isolation has imparted in our protective eternity. We will be loosening our grasp collectively on the order of this world and allow a balance not yet seen. Perhaps one even greater. We shall be reborn to live amongst our children.
Oh, okay.
Indeed, for some a familiar journey. We will experience this world we've cultivated in ways that will enrich us, break us from our detachment. Perhaps, even in time, break us of our eternal enmities. We will grow, live, love, hurt, and pass as our beautiful children always have.
It's all important and
with
beautiful, DX.
Be given more clarity in our purpose than we would
Okay.
have ever had otherwise.
Orm steps forward and looks at all of these massive beings of light. And if you're still not convinced, we caution you to look at this practically.
Orym is my favorite character. this campaign.
We have Predathos contained.
Hands
for a
down.
moment, yes. But that moment will pass, whether we want it or not. And someone far worse could be holding Predathos now.
Move chat between.
History is littered with mortals trying to ascend and pull you down from your place and take your thrones.
Oh,
But if
right. What did I say?
any of you love this
Yeah.
world and its children as you claim to do, then walk amongst its people. Live with us.
But yeah, Orim is my favorite character.
There will no longer be any need to tear the gods down from the sky.
Then I think Fern.
No wars between gods and mortals. Equilibrium.
Make either a persuasion check or a wisdom check.
Can I?
Is this a
Can
check?
I give advantage on that since I did a lot of talking earlier and I didn't roll at all?
No. I'm going to have you roll here shortly. Because currently we are now engaged what is essentially a group skill check to convince the Pantheon.
How do I kick off initiative?
It's okay.
Because this is what I've been waiting for.
So, if any of you
Chutney,
have any
God killer.
spells you want to utilize to improve your chances, if any of you will have some particular arguments,
And also,
displays,
Ashton has one of my favorite
reveals,
lines in this counter
personal,
talk. Is very,
attributions you think
very
might speak to
Taliesin
their
coded
experience
because
in
he
the
has some of the
promise
best
future. Now
one-liners
is
in
time,
the entire thing.
or forever. Hold your peace. Oren, what did you roll?
Well, I want to see if I can make this go a little bit higher with something. Checking.
I think Liam plays him so perfectly. Like, he's
those are for
the straight man,
investigation, so never mind.
and I don't know.
22.
I can just picture him better than any other character. So well, so solidly.
Another voice. Wistful. Playful. Speaks.
There will likely be unforeseen circumstances to the order of our world changing. In this future, our boundaries, our presence maintain the veils that stood timeless in our wake. Some immutable truths might wax and wane with our absences. But is this not a better risk than to embrace oblivion entirely?
Another voice goes,
Oblivion.
Damn, that's
Will this free the chained oblivion?
a shift. Oh yeah, the
The
chain
matron.
oblivion.
The oblivion is not of our kin. And outside both this rite and the vision of Predathos, it shall remain sealed under our guardianship and those of our children.
Campaign 4?
There's almost a collective sigh of relief amongst all this.
I don't like Shadow there. I'm going to move it back down.
And another voice,
I'm going
You
to
see
move
from
this
a-
down here, and then I'm going to move me.
very honorable,
Up higher.
powerful presence of almost a metallic light that shines, dimmed in the presence of the Dawnfather, yes, but like the brightest of sunlight reflected off the smoothest shield mirror. Its fanged, draconid presence almost smiling as it looks around.
What of the Whispered One and his false ascension?
And as they all kind of look around, that same flicker of shadow that you saw briefly appear before on the periphery, like the echoes of a voice behind goes,
All truths are mutable in time. All mysteries a problem to solve.
The knowing mistress speaks up in response. Indeed. And in time we shall solve you once more. The shadow kind of flickers out beyond the tension periphery.
Caleb's your all-time favorite. I can see that.
Take care of it.
The matron kind of looks back to you. The rites take us all who are present, for the gate must fall for it to work. So those who wish not to be part of this, run. Those that do, we shatter the gate together and are reborn somewhere. Now make your persuasion check from the basis of your discussion up to this point.
Cast your spells or whatever. I cast blindness.
Okay.
Image.
No.
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 Do I get advantage?
I'm standing next
Yes,
to you,
you-
so it's not a.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Sorry, I was trying to read chat. I'm so torn. I rotated so much campaign 2, my favourite character. Do we think there will be a campaign 4? And if so, do we think it's going to be in D&D or a different rule set? Apparently there will be a campaign. I'm sure there will be a campaign 4. I'm sure there will be. What's happening, Leon? Watching the finale. We are. I might be skipping 3 parts though. Just due to time constraints, because it's 8 hours and 37 minutes long. But yeah, we will see.
No.
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 Do I get advantage?
I'm standing next
Yes,
to you,
you-
so it's not.
Wait, what was the rule?
I cast blindness on Imogen.
No.
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 Do I get advantage?
I'm
Oh,
standing
not
next to you,
one.
so it's not a.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
thank-
yeah. Oh my god. That was not.
Don't do it twice.
That's amazing.
That just made my stomach drop.
Okay. 25.
25.
Jesus.
The horned one seems to step forward a bit with that massive, imposing, almost oppressive presence. Come with a heat with it, and you can hear.
Leon, no. My feelings are that I need to sit down and watch this. I think after this, fully all the way through, my full attention, because I can't multitask that well, and streaming and chatting and stuff, which I love doing. But yeah, I might watch it again. But so far, Matt is just so good at what he does that it's crazy. He's so good at it. And yeah, I'm just more intrigued because I want to see what happens. I've heard from this chat alone that there's a few twists and turns and big stuff, so I'm excited. All the Calamity short campaigns are great in my opinion. Yeah. I think the first Calamity is the best piece of actual play I've ever seen. I say that a lot, so I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but that first Calamity is phenomenal. Matt playing in the upcoming one makes me wonder if he'll take the low intelligence again or do the unexpected and play something high intelligence. I think Matt, when I've watched him play in both like Dimension 20 stuff and this stuff, and Critical Role stuff as a player, I don't think he likes role playing as competent people. So I think no matter what he plays, he's going to play someone who has some kind of major flaw. Because I think he just likes that.
Hear the flickering flames of the endless hell as it speaks.
You can interrupt, I don't mind.
As them once was a travesty.
I don't mind.
To walk as a mortal forever is a curse. At least obliteration brings dignity. As he's having this conversation, a second conversation enters your mind, Breas. You have done well, Doomseed. Follow the call of my other servants and find me again. The rewards for your service are unimaginable. For once we do,
It is fun playing
we
Oath.
find them. And it's a race to punish them forever.
Can I respond?
If you'd like.
Lord,
Right, he's an Asmodeus boy. Yeah.
might I suggest that fate is a strange thing. Fate brought me to you. It delivered me in my time of need.
I've been in and out, Leon.
You gave me great counsel.
Honestly. But
You
I'm
gave me great power and great opportunity.
confident in my knowledge.
And I listened. And I used your weapons and your tools. I learned your lies. Might I suggest that this is an opportunity for you? Just as fate delivered me to you, I feel like it might have delivered me to these people. I've always sought a family, and I sought it in your hells. But I found another hells. And they're pretty cool.
Man.
They're not pious. They're not believers. They're not devotees like you would expect. But I think that that's right. They represent Titans and Ashari and Fae and Ruidusborn and the wisdom of ages and the wisdom of death and the charisma of the wind. They're not godly people, which is why I think they can be trusted.
What type of characters do you like to play if you're not the GM? Good question. I like playing simple characters. I'll usually play like a fighter or something that just hits things, and then I like making them unlikable at the start and then hopefully turn everyone around into liking them by the end. That's kind of my goal most of the time. But even if I play like a magic user or something, I don't try and do complex things. I think it comes from when I'm because I've DM'd so much. I like to play characters who are very brash, who just do things without thinking too much about it. Because I know as a DM, that's the most fun player to have. Because it's like you're constantly moving the story forwards. It's like the whole thing of like, you know, there's something behind the door, and I'm immediately like, I go through the door because I know that's like the DM's got something planned there, and it's straight into it. And it's same with combat as well. I like to just hit things and get my turn over with as fast as possible so that we can keep combat going fast. So yeah, usually like some kind of martial class, and if not stupid, definitely like bold and brash is my favorite kind of character to play.
Like you, they've just been searching for something. Searching to reconnect with something, someone.
How do you name your kingdoms and NPCs? I have so much, but I have
a family.
No names. The random name generators are great. Honestly, if you just search Google random name generator for NPCs, especially.
Again, to reconnect with yours. You've given me great
making I
wisdom
Can't Be
and
Forgiven
advice.
self-proclaimed unredeemable characters for the intense emotional moments and sense of family. Yeah.
I guess my last prayer is that you would listen to ours and accept the offer and find your family again.
Make a persuasion check for me.
I think if a player wanted to stop playing a character, they would do it. Like they'd be allowed to, and it would be open for them. Personally.
I don't know what that is. I can't read it.
11. Not great.
I can't believe how Robbie,
27.
how good Robbie is. Like I just forget he's like new this campaign, but he just slots into this group so well. He's like such a great new cast member. It's wild.
Can only sense to be the Lord of the Hells present seems to stalk between some of the flickering lights and colors. Of course they want us brought low, brought to their level. It snaps towards Breas, and as it does, you hear in your mind.
Is he not going to be in the next campaign? Oh no.
Interesting point. Well, hold true to your faith. I'm not daunted or worried for you. Fractured faith is my specialty.
I'm sorry that I couldn't be truer to you. But when I promised you I would betray
Yeah,
them,
Robbie slots right in like he's been there the whole time. It's wild.
I guess I lied.
Fired.
Oh wait.
I guess I lied.
Fired.
You all watch as the flames seem to grin. A low resonant chuckle kind of emanates and reverberates outward as you hear in your mind, I'll find you.
He has a special set of
He
skills.
steps back with the rest of the troop.
Okay, okay, okay.
I like that we're just in a psychedelic miasma.
Yeah. Ooh.
Weird.
Yeah, yelled at by
I think Matt was like, I'm so proud. Like his face, hold on, let's go back to his face. I think his face there is like, I'm so proud of Sam right now.
Find you. Reverberate.
I guess I lied.
Look at Matt's face. Look at him. He's trying not to smirk. He's trying so hard not to smile. Yeah, that's a proud DM. That is a very proud DM right there.
Going with the rest of the troop.
Okay, okay, okay.
I like that we're just in a psychedelic miasma.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's weird.
Yeah, yelled at by geometry. Yeah.
Would anyone else wish to contribute perspective or points to this?
Lord Noah, step up.
And so will I.
You speak first.
Should listen to them and stuff, they're nice.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
It is quite intelligent to weigh all of the risks. If you step down from where you've been ruling on high, and even if there are moments where you cannot be present.
All right, I'm gonna start going 2x speed now. See how much we can get through this before I've got to end the stream. I'm not going 2x speed now that Marisha's speaking. I know there's a thing online that I took Marisha's name and I interviewed Matt and Marisha. I just called it I Asked Matt Mercer because cover was scripted, not I Asked Matt and Marisha. That was not because I hate Marisha. It was because it does better just have Matt Mercer's name on there and it be a shorter title. Okay, I love Marisha, but I am going to be doing this.
In between whatever this catathéosis demands of you, in those moments of oblivion, between life and death. I think it's important to remember that just because you're no longer on this realm of Exandria,
Oops.
doesn't mean you're forgotten. I wasn't forgotten. It were these people that are standing next to me that brought me back. And look at where you stand. Look at the city. It is built in your image, in your honor. Thousands of people love you, worship you all, good and bad. It's the beautiful balance that we trifle with on a day-to-day basis. In those times where you may not be able to represent your domain, your pillars, you will have others. You have taught your children well. They will uphold your teachings, what you stand for, your moral proceedings. We've interacted with many of your champions in the time that we've been on this wild quest. Just because you're gods does not mean you're not afforded to lean on those around you. Lean on those that believe in you. Trust them. I mean, this is coming from someone who has not worshipped
Matt's
God before,
embodiment
but
of whatever NPC he's
understands
playing
what it means
at all times is really impressive.
to not be forgotten.
I completely forgot where in the episode you were. I'm terribly sorry. You're all
During
good.
those
Like I said, I'm going to watch
times
this
when
again on
you
my own and
were
really
present
let it
on
sink
this
in, so it's
world.
all good.
Make a persuasion check.
Are you next to me? Do I get advantage?
No,
Roll
it's
only on
only
ones.
ones. It only fixes ones.
You can re-roll anything.
In Robbie's mind.
It's a 9. It's not good.
Oh. 9s are hard to get at level 20. I feel.
Delilah busts out.
The light of one side of this surrounding council seems to crystallize into a lattice of metal and plates and hooks. A voice kind of streaks through it like it's straining. I will not be forgotten. My children
Yes.
have been taught. But you do not have to be the one to show me. You're adrift.
It sounds like we're agreeing. Okay, whatever. Yes.
I think it sounded better than it actually came out.
Did it?
Yeah,
To me?
you kind of fumbled it. Yeah.
Your jaw sort of unhinged during it, and you were drooling for most of it.
You reset it.
Is this camp?
I always have a hard time believing they come up with these monologues completely on the fly, but they do have practice with their chosen profession. Yeah, they also live and breathe these characters way more than a normal D&D player would. So they're probably like thinking constantly, and they probably knew something like this was coming, not because like it's scripted or they were told otherwise, but because it's predictable in that sense. It makes sense. They know Matt really well. They know Matt's DM style really well. So I'm sure like they've not just sat down with a blank head. They've thought about this kind of stuff a lot. I guess 8.5 hours can become cannibal in mind. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. No worries.
Pain over yet?
The crawling king is making a threat right now.
You see me crawling.
No, this one appears to be more the presence of the Strife Emperor.
Oh, the
You
Strife.
see chains kind of dangling and looks like...
Do we know how many gods there are in the Exandria pantheon? I actually have. No, I don't. Not up here. I have the Taldore Reborn book downstairs, and that has the list of them. But where do I also have the Wildmount book, but that's downstairs as well. God damn it. Oh, yeah. 22.
heavy flail-like swinging bits
But they're
of
not
metal
all here
shoot
right
from
now,
armored
right?
exterior.
Like the chained Oblivion's not here.
Long ago.
Okay. I'll be patient, assassin. But thank you.
Forgotten. All will kneel in time.
Yeah, come back as a king. You'll be great.
So the light, and he's kind of like turn. He's always like that.
We're really not that bad. And I don't know if you can tell I'm from the Fey realm.
Here comes Ashton. I didn't miss it, did I, DX?
The time that I've been here, I really have been able to accomplish so much, and I'm not even a god. I'm a professor, I'm a princess,
Sounds great.
Fey scion of the ancient flame, and most importantly, I'm a mother.
Oh,
I
so
sit
cool.
between thrones, and I get to whisper in the ears of all the so-called gods and queens, and sometimes gods.
Oh my god, Sam's freaking flask.
But I think
Oh,
when we watch some of
you can spoil this, but do I spy a t-shirt under Sam's shirt? Is that what I spy? Is that going to come off at some point?
you take a mortal form,
Yeah, 20 gods here. Okay.
and I look at the Everlight,
Ooh, when does that happen?
you fell in love. You had children. And I'm gonna look to Asmodeus.
It's my
Do you
favorite
know how
Critical
much she
Role
loves you?
long-running joke is Sam's t-shirts. By far.
I think you've all forgotten that you all are a family. And you all should get a choice to
Oh.
do what you want to do. Stay and you will enjoy life here, I promise you. But if you don't, you better run for the rest of your life.
I've woefully
Persuasion check or an intimidation
misjudged how much time I would be.
Oh, wasn't trying to intimidate. Let's see.
Got this.
I didn't mean to. It just came out.
No. Wait, so what happens with the fires? Like, they don't... Do they get evacuated during the actual session?
It is, but I mean, it's gods. I don't know if it's...
You make a good point, though, Fern, because your family, you've been together for so long. I think you've forgotten how much fun it is to meet someone. To meet someone new. Imagine the fun of trying to find each other.
They just don't go back and break crazy
One new
stuff.
experience after all these years.
Hunt each other.
It's so crazy for that to happen during the finale. That's wild.
She's right, though. Life can be fun. And Dorian's gonna reach into his pocket, and he's gonna grab out just a little set of dice that he's had with him since the very beginning.
Some silly string.
Close. And that's not quite silly string, but he is going to do like a little one-handed flare like layover in front of the gods, and he's going to start to juggle his little dice. I didn't really get into dice until I was a little bit older. In taverns, after shows. It's pretty fun. Do you know why it's fun? Oop, and he stumbles one. Because you don't know what's going to happen. You've been gods for so long.
Oh, that's fun.
Wouldn't it be nice not to know what comes next?
Lana spikes the dice out of his hand.
You get my point. And then I'll do a quick pirouette, pull out his flute, and go doodly-doo. Put it back in. And he's like,
Performance check.
I have a chance to live a life. I've lived more life in the last few months than I ever thought I could. Life is fun. Certainly legacy is important. Family, responsibility, honor, but to live life by yourself for once?
This is such a great way to let like everyone just really tap into what makes their characters their character and just be like, how do you convince gods to live? You know, it's why it's so good.
Instead of your followers to be free?
That's beautiful.
Well, I'll grab one of the ones I fumble. I'll throw it over my shoulder. We'll never know what that was. And that's okay.
Make persuasion or performance roll, your choice.
Gotta be performance, right?
Always bewilders me.
Can I help him with advantage on that one?
Can I give a bardic inspiration?
I'll allow Bardic Inspiration as an under the wire here with no number confirmed.
What's the number?
PCs would have fireballed the room by now. Yeah,
That's
true
it. I'll
that.
take it. I'll take everything I can get. That's great. 22.
Okay.
My PCs would be trying to negotiate some kind of like deal, figuring out somehow that they can get rich from all this. Mortals convincing gods to become like them to survive is such an inconceivable action that makes it so much more beautiful. It's crazy. It's like, why would they ever do that? Why would they ever do that?
That's good. That's good.
It's my last Spartic inspiration.
My last one too for you.
One of the figures that kind of like leans inward with a kind of a golden flare to it. I think it's really marvelous what they're capable of doing, I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, that's a solid voice.
So good.
I know you've all had your own businesses and your own conflicts and such, but they're just constantly surprising us left and right. And I know we're all been getting tired, eh? We've all just kind of been going through the motions. Why not mix it up? Why not write a new chapter together, eh?
The Archart's presence kind of pulls back a bit. The multi-headed beast entity, the dragon behemoth that can also.
Oh, that was the Archheart? Great.
It's multiple heads, like
Great voice.
seeming to only come in and encircle you. As it begins to kind of curl inward, the matron kind of cocks her head with it. Okay. They all seem to speak in unison, a chorus of 5 voices.
Matt does such a good impression of the guy who plays him in Downfall, yeah.
Now and ran.
I don't think you could run fast enough.
Oof.
5 heads, what's that like? Would you come back with 5 heads? Would you be something else? I don't know if you have a temple in Vasselheim. I certainly haven't seen it. You know what we call that city where I come from? We call it the Coward City. Because all they did was act like your children and build themselves a tiny wall. Just like yours. You fucking coward. Why don't you come down here and find out which of you is lying to yourselves about what you think of us and what you'd want to do? I've seen plenty of it. I have heard those intimate little conversations that a few of you had in Aor. Every fucking word. I don't believe you. You might believe you. Put your money where your fucking mouth is. All fucking 5 of them.
Make an intimidation check.
Oof.
Persuasion check.
Solid stuff.
I'm gonna go persuasion. So it's -2.
Well, intimidation. You can use your strength if you want to.
24.
Okay.
Oof.
Good ones. Sorry.
Your rogue would have attempted to seduce at least one god by now, yeah.
As they grow close, you feel that like burst of primordial strength kind of from up with inside. Something ancient and instinctual begins to kind of brim and swell within as the seams on your arm and on your various fractured self begin to glow a reddish hue in reaction to the proximity of this furious godly presence. The heads stop.
Justice Tiamat and got away with it alive. In no other campaign would they ever have a good outcome. We'll see. Tiamat is currently the big bad guy in the campaign I'm running. We'll see. But it's not a level 20 campaign. It's not going to be. It's just going to be like an aspect of Tiamat. But
You all be devoured on the spot. We're offering you a chance to write new chapters in your story. Otherwise, you're just closing the book.
The palest one that seems to almost shimmer like a distant pearl. Lost amongst
my
the
glasses
dark
and my
blue
headphones do not
horizon.
go well together. Headphones push the glasses into my head.
Come on.
The light of the Moonweaver seems to extend from its form. You feel the kind of lycanthrope urge, that pulse within you begin to swell a bit at the renewed presence.
We all like to say that we are something beyond the animals we found here. But we all still work on instinct. We just have a higher opinion of our own. This one's been quiet.
Me?
Sometimes it's hard to see where like
This
they're
is real,
looking
right?
because the table's such a weird shape.
Okay. I didn't know if I had like passed, and this was just the start of it.
Watch
I
me
greet
join
you
you
at
it,
the
so-
gate
oh, what are you
sort of
eating,
thing, and
Giannis?
everybody shows up that you've met in your life.
If you're dead, we're all dead together.
We're all spicing.
Go to the light, Pop.
Go into the light. It's funny. I've actually been looking for death in all of this. I've been doing this for a long time, 400 years.
They should make him roll a
400.
D100
Got
right
the
now to
badge
see if
and
he dies.
everything. There is a lot of cowardice around here. I assume it's just fear from the unknown. The next great adventure, whatever that could be. You guys should be excited about this. It's a chance to really mix things up. We don't fear death. Well, I think some of us do. Only because we know the people that would be left behind would miss us. I would only miss them. And we had to face that fear. We came out on top.
You want to hide one team out? Maybe I'll
Imogen over here
maybe I'll
is
talk about it next stream. I
about to
might do
change everything.
preparing my next session stuff, and I'll go into
But
that
it really
stuff there
is
and
simple. It's kind of a binary choice. You can live, or you can run. And running is finite. It always catches up with you. But if you choose life, let's see you make it to 400 and break my record.
Make a persuasion check if you'd like, Chet.
I didn't want to say anything because they suck.
Oh, man.
Zeros.
Guidance. Can you guide him? Guidance.
Different angles.
You can do that. You can guide him.
It's a quick spell.
Yeah.
You guys have everything at your disposal.
What is it?
Plus
one
D4.
It's really gonna help.
Yeah.
It might help.
I've played this game.
Yeah. Me too.
Natural 6.
I was gonna say 20.
It's a 9.
It feels good down here, doesn't it? Hey.
As the various council of lights and colors seem to share various vibrations or tones, conversation that's not meant for your
So
mortal ears.
you're saying that
It sounds
there's a
like
massive
distant
roll coming up.
symphonies
Is that
warming
like, does he take the
Distorted,
average of all
still
these
beautiful.
rolls? Is that what's going to happen?
And you feel like your heads are being talked over. A private conversation that you can just make out the briefest and dullest of murmurs through a dense wall.
No? Okay.
As they all go
Okay.
back down towards you, one of you gets to make the final conclusion remark.
Oh.
This is your. So all of the previous
Final remark. It's got to be of him, right? He's like the most level-headed. It's got to be of him. Just watch. Okay.
Are all modifying this final roll.
Oh,
Whoa. Farts are funny.
Is this a persuasion roll? This will be
It's
persuasion.
however you want to present this.
Okay.
If you have enhance ability or any spells that can like give you an advantage
You
on
know,
this one,
I have a
anything that can
modifier.
like use now what you got while you can.
Persuasion. Mine's 17.
That's one better than mine.
And if I'm gonna enhance ability on you.
Your persuasion is 17.
Yeah.
Metagaming.
So I keep trying to get advantage too.
I'll keep an illusion handy in case I want to soup up anyone's point with imagery. I can do that.
Shit, I don't have any spell slots left. Wait, hang on. Okay, I do. I want to do enhance ability. I would like to cast enhance ability on Imogen.
Imogen.
And that would be far for Eagle Splendor.
Biggest advantage?
Okay, it makes sense it could be Imogen then.
I do have 1 second level spell slot. That's
Amazing.
literally all I have left. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe.
Go.
Okay.
The
You've
matron
got this.
now kind of swells back up to her primary size, but as she does so, she lifts you all up with her, like you're all being carried within a body of water that doesn't have any sort of density or material to it. As you all drift within her, you
Yeah, it's
now
weird
find
that they're
yourself
all just
drifting,
casting
but
spells
would
on
be
each
at
other.
eye level without
Obviously
eyes.
so.
You are peering into the focal consciousness of the great gods of Exandria, and what you can.
Peering into the focal consciousness of the great gods of Exandria is what looking at Twitch and YouTube chat is like on my screen.
Make of them. And they all are on the cusp of a decision.
So much light. So much power. Must be a hard decision. To run away or to survive.
Leon, I just want to say, I think if a fight broke out here, they would be screwed anyway, regardless of long rest or not.
Whatever you choose, you should make a decision quickly. Because I'm getting hungry.
I don't know what kind of imagery could support that.
It's a big floating middle finger.
Yeah.
The matron's voice.
Maybe you can make Predathos look like it's...
So I'm going to cast a minor illusion, and the image that we fought of Predathos with the spiked head and the Rylorian kind of face starts to almost like emanate. It's this like visage that starts to arise like around Imogen, like its power beginning to manifest.
Oh,
The
yeah.
matron's voice kind
Fair.
of brims beneath Imogen's as the visual of this expanding production.
If I was Matt, though, and I thought they were going to get into a fight, I would be a little cheeky DM and say, like, because you basked in the light of all these celestial beings, you all get a long rest, I think, is what I would do.
Dathos, and your point begins to disseminate amongst like the now shifting and quaking light. The matron's voice is, join us, or join the annihilation that took your precious Dengar. Go ahead and make your persuasion roll.
Oh, so this is well.
The DC on this is a 30.
30?
Yeah. For every point below 30, a member of the Pantheon does not.
Oh,
jeez.
Okay.
Say it again. Say it again. For every number below 30.
For every point below 30, a member of the Pantheon.
Wait, so if there's 20, you say there's 20 gods or around 20 gods. So if she rolls a 10 or lower, no one joins. If she rolls a 15, 5 join. Is that right? Am I thinking about that right? If she rolls a 20, 10 join. So really she wants to get over 25 to have like the majority solid.
Pantheon will not partake in the ritual.
I love it.
Okay, well, hang on.
I love it.
There's
You get a
12,
13,
right?
it's 12s.
Right.
I can't get below unless I roll 1, which I can't because I'm right next to you.
There are 20 members of the Pantheon.
20. Okay, 12 primes.
A couple of them are bitches.
But
Some
it
are
could just be 1. Like if you roll a 2 plus your 17.
Then there's 18, yeah.
Oh, she's guaranteed 17. Okay, this is okay.
But 1
Yeah.
or 2.
A couple, okay, so we'll see.
No,
It's a 30,
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
20.
30.
Yeah.
So she's got to roll a 13 to get all of them.
Yeah.
We should funnel our energy.
Okay, that's
into
not as bad.
a
That's
little,
not as
like,
bad.
Chaos Random.
Yeah, like Chaos
while,
Random,
while you're
ready?
doubling the dice. This is just this is the Pantheon.
Yeah, it does change like critical role Alexandria in that world
critical role.
forever.
That-
This is
are
a
they
critical role.
Do it on the table.
Oh my god.
Nat 20! Take a photo. Kalim is so excited. Oh my god. That's so cute. Oh man. Is that up on TikTok? Have they made a short out of that? I would love to see what all the cameras see.
Shut up!
What was the other dice?
A 3? No way! It was a 3 and a 20.
No, that's a 47. No, a 37. 37.
Plus 3.
No, that's a 3. That doesn't add to it.
Quick, make
Ooh, Geothor, thank you for the subscription, dude. Thank you so much.
What are you doing like
37.
They all agreed to join and survive. That's a huge role. That's up there with the Nat 20s that are like the one that Travis got in the live show that one time.
The 2 lost gods.
Yeah, the 2 last gods are like,
God.
remember me?
I have goosebumps.
Don't know how that happened.
Man.
Got it on video because otherwise no one would ever have known.
I got Got it all.
Holy shit.
That's
The Critical Role haters are going to come out in droves and say that was scripted, didn't see the dice, but come
Symphony.
on. That reaction is too hard to act. They're not good enough actors. No offense to them. So good.
The symphony of tones, an endless heavenly and demonic music that swirls amongst this council of ancient powers, begins to crescendo in ways you don't understand, until, eventually, the shadow of the matron fills your perception. Darkness consumes you, and the sense of warmth fades to cold on your cheeks.
Gia thought, you're welcome binging your content the last couple of days, but rather by chance saw you live just now, so I just wanted to sneak in and say hi. Nice! And you're on Twitch, so did you see me live on YouTube or on Twitch? Because I'm multi-streaming. Were you just on Twitch and you saw me? Because that's crazy if you did. I thought Twitch didn't have any of that discoverability at all. I mean, to be fair, the player character doesn't seem too bothered if they die or not, the gods that is. So there's no RP reason to save them, yeah?
And then suddenly you blink and your eyes are back in Vasselheim. Everyone looks around you expectantly.
Saw you on YouTube and saw Twitch chat on screen and came. Well, I appreciate it. Twitch is pretty quiet in comparison to YouTube, so I like that people migrate over there. Is that just, do you prefer Twitch? I'm curious about that. Like, do you prefer like the Twitch player and website and ecosystem and stuff?
Everyone looks up. The sound of a cracking glacier magnified 1,000,000 times echoes across the sky as it looks like the very air above cracks. Golden, spidering breaks begin to carve out of nothing as you see the flicker of countless arcane, divine magical equations. A flash of the divine native self beginning to crumble. Everyone is still in the city and silent. It echoes off in all directions. The clouds are scattered off, and now the clear blue sky itself, an endless kaleidoscope, a kaleidoscope of crackling gold, before it all dissipates at once. And in that moment, you hear rumbles. You hear the shifting of mountains. And everyone at once knows the gods again walk Exandria. With that, the wind picks up.
So cool.
And not ephemeral, but physical. A blackened feather cloak of a matron reaches out of the ground and climbs her way physically on this plane for the first time. Everyone taken aback by this. The mask peers over the crowd, and her voice rings out, present, cold but hopeful. The ritual requires one more piece.
So are they just going to be peeps now? They're just going to be people?
And she looks over toward the direction of the cream.
Like, are they? Did I miss the details? Do they come out as babies, or are they just like
Dynasty
adults?
Kind of all looks about each other, and the Bright Queen says, "We do not take into your. We cannot allow such a relic into the hands of your. We do not understand. What is this for?"
No divine power, right?
They all look amongst each other.
Just normal peeps.
You can see the matron's kind of extended arm, the fingers away.
Sucks. I would never have agreed to that.
Then if not you, who can take it?
Take me, Pedathos.
If I'm to bind my family with this ritual.
Right. So what's okay. Remind me what happened in Downfall. So they just lived their lives, right? They like had kids and stuff, and then do they have their memories from the start? TMI's reborn as 5 kobolds in a coat. Beautiful and brilliant. I want that mini. The ritual is complete opposite that the matron casted to become a god. Right. Interesting.
I need a beacon to complete the binding.
We have a beacon.
Don't we don't have a beacon?
Oh, Grog has a beacon. Oh, fuck talking it does.
I don't think we know that.
We don't know that. Oh,
I'll do it.
Wait, are you?
Yeah.
In Downfall, they acted as mortals to take down AI, right?
Oh, shit!
Wait, what?
Wait.
What was the realization?
Wait, are you?
We don't know that. Oh,
I'll do it.
No.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit!
Wait, Ashton.
It's all right.
So this is what you were referring to earlier.
Them.
A grand sacrifice.
Wait. You're gonna start being
Spoilers.
selfless now?
Oh. I go over and I give Chetney a very uncomfortable hug and I make it hurt. I love you, old man. And you've never
You're all
understood.
good, you're all good.
And I'm gonna walk forward.
Well, wait. What does
The
this
matron's
mean?
arms begin to curl around, and as she does, you watch soldiers get pushed back by some unseen force as the very ground itself, the center of the city, this open pathway was once this kind of circular courtyard that sits at the base of the mountain, suddenly begins to alight with all manner of runes. And you watch as she kind of moves her fingers about, the inside of the mask's dark eyes begin to glow that same kind of silver glow. She's in the process of writing this equation that in itself is a fractal within a fractal. It is an endless pattern that looks like long, thick runic bands built of smaller runes that are built of smaller runes that are built of smaller runes. And as she carves it out into space, this is but a sketch. As you look up into the sky and notice that it is mirrored on an impossible scale amongst where the Divine Gate once stood. Without even turning, she just extends her hand towards you.
I walk forward and I offer my left hand.
She takes your hand and lifts you off your feet. Places both of her hands around you, almost like you are the core of a prayer position.
I'll lock in.
Ashton,
This is good.
Is it
You're
goodbye?
good.
This is why I'm here.
You're a good person, Ashton.
I know. I know I was looking for way too long. I am Ashton Greymore of Bassaris, and I am nobody's child.
This reminds me of fresh cut
Not
grass.
the gods, not anybody. Let's go for it.
Wait. I'm just gonna run over really quick and give him a hug. You're so wonderful. And I'm very proud of you.
This has been the best time of my life.
Oh.
Me too.
And, I'll see how it goes. I'll try and miss it.
Okay.
I love you, and I love you all very much. Fuck, now I'm embarrassed. Let's just get this over with.
We love you.
That's all I needed.
Go get him.
As you're nodding, the rest of you notice the runes are like extending across his body and starting to weave up. And all seem to almost extend like endless circuit board curvatures and knots, Gordian and extending endless around, all piercing into, it seems, the exterior where the exposed oddity that resides within his head crystal before the matron jettisons him at an incredible speed up into the air, nearly breaking the sound barrier. You see atmosphere kind of burning off the sides as he's sent higher than you could ever conceive in but a matter of moments before he gets almost caught up in the spider web network of this ritual. You can only see the smallest of faint spark of where he sits up there. And you see on the horizon the flash of the Dawn Father's starry head stepping through the landscape towards the city. You see the burning flames of the infernal armies returned from the strike on the Mali.
I appreciate the prime sub. For sure. Thank you,
Once
Gia.
an apocalyptic sight, now
Gia Thor.
mystery and a fear. Distant black clouds on one horizon roil and flash with anger, another with pure spite. all of the emotional elements of this world converge at this moment. And here, the matron removes her mask. And when she looks upon you all, it is just a pale absence of expression. As she looks at it, will return. She places it back on, holds her hands out, and you hear that odd chorus of discordant harmonic music again. As the entirety of your horizon view gets brighter and brighter and brighter. You almost can hear war horns in the distance. You can hear the cracking and sundering of something far off. It's almost like in one moment you can feel every war, every conflict that has echoed through the history of Exandria itself brimming and about to strike at once. Time, presence, matter, philosophy, concept, existence, all seems to almost fold into one moment, as in the core of this equation, this old, forbidden, fractured right made new, made strange, made hopeful. There is a flash of gray, a flash of Greymore. And in a blink, it's all gone. She's gone, the storm's gone, the rumbling's gone, the lattice is gone, just the blue sky above.
With Worm's passive perception, our friend is gone.
Make a perception check.
18.
18. There's an intense.
That was interesting. Liam, great player, knew he has a really high passive perception and was like, "Can I see you with passive perception?" And Matt was like, "No, roll a check," which is really interesting, like, choice there, because that means that Matt wanted there to be a chance of failure. Because there wouldn't have been a chance of failure if he had just let him use his passive perception.
A held moment where all breaths are still clutched in the chest of everyone present in the city, likely everybody in this world. Those who did not know what was even happening feel a change, a shift, stronger than that of the snapping back of the magical ley lines that themselves are on the cusp of untethering and tearing apart. Twice, in oh so short time, the magic of this world has been rewritten. But as that collective exhale is happening, you see just the faintest dark shape.
Oh no, Marisha is full on.
As the limp
affected
form of your friend Ashton plummets from an impossible height.
Oh?
I point him out.
He's there.
Oh, any spells.
I got him! I got him!
Oh my god. As soon as he's in range, let me see.
Well, how long have we been gone?
Not long enough. We haven't had it.
From the last fight?
We haven't had a short rest.
No, but I mean, how long? Do we know how long it's been time-wise?
Oh, it's been a number of hours.
Number of hours?
Yeah.
Okay. He's barely alive, but I still got Coriolis. I'm just gonna I'm gonna direct him up in the sky to like try to fly up to try to catch him.
All right.
Yeah, the magic of this world has been rewritten.
Gliding up in the air as fast as it can, you watch as Dorian's conjured steed rockets up into the pale blue, endless expanse. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for Coriolis.
With his stats?
With his stats, yes.
Okay.
Come on, Dragon.
No.
Oh no.
What is it?
Unbelievable, man.
5.
Coriolis heads upward and attempts to snag and scoop up Ashton, but with a slight unfortunate calculation in speed, instead you watch Coriolis get smacked and knock off his axis and kind of spins out as Ashton now spins twice as fast and is now...
I invoke a sorcery point and start flying in the air.
Can I take me with you?
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, I'll grab Laudna and fly up to try to reach Ashton as he's coming down.
It's a whole section of the episode that people have issues with. I get like why people maybe thought that Taliesin wanted to sacrifice his character here fully, and it would be a good way to go. But equally, it's cool that he didn't, and it's like, I guess it all depends. Maybe Matt rolled behind the screen to see what would happen next, and that was the way the dice rolled. But yeah, it's interesting. It would be a great way to go, though. It would be a great character death. But at the same time, what a great moment of Iron Man flying the nuclear warhead through the space tunnel and then falling back to Earth when you think he's dead. Like, I can see both sides. I think it's great. Doesn't seem annoyed, so I don't get the hate for this. There shouldn't be any hate because, like, just because a player wants to sacrifice themselves doesn't mean they get to, if that makes sense. Unless it's something explicitly being talked about. Because if I was the DM and I gave this impossible moment to my players, and then one player was like, I will sacrifice myself, I'd be like, I wouldn't be like desperate to just let it happen. I would just think they're doing this out of desperation and they're sacrificing themselves. It's amazing. If a player came to me outside of the game and was like, hey, I kind of want to play a new character. Can I sacrifice this one in some way or have him leave? Then if I had that knowledge, because for all we know, Matt might know Taliesin loves Ashton, right? He might know that, like, he loves him to bits and wouldn't want him to die. So there's so much going on. I'd say he's annoyed, but he definitely won't sour the mood for others. Yeah. If I was a PC, I would feel it cheapens my character's arc and finale, but it's up to the player and DM. I've asked players, is this what you want? I mean, that could work. That could genuinely work. I think there's three realms of, like, possibility here, I think. The one is that, like, Matt did some kind of roll or check or had something else. Like, he knew that, like, this isn't how the world works. And I guess it's going to go into exactly what happened now. Two, he knows Taliesin better than, like, anyone else. So you would think that he knows, like, roughly what he would want and stuff like that in the long term. He could also have big plans for the future. Like, we don't know. We don't know. It's weird to get mad, though. It's... you can be disappointed. You can be like, oh, that would have been a great death, you know? Once this is resolved, I think it's a break for you, remember? All right, we'll keep powering on. In your current campaign, I killed a player in a decently epic sacrifice as the player wanted to play a new character. And yeah. Okay, just a disagreement in what was done. Small villains here and there. You see the intention of both of them. Yeah, if I was a DM and I put in a situation where it made it seem like I was asking a player to sacrifice themselves, but I wasn't, and then the player was like, I volunteer as tribute, and I'd let them volunteer in tribute and have that moment, but then continue on afterwards. Let's see.
We just...
You've got him long now?
Over and over and.
As soon as we're close, I'm going to try and it's my last spell of Featherfall.
Oh.
But I know it's going to be about timing.
Still 50 minutes from the break.
Okay, so give him the basic hand. Since you want
4 o'clock here.
It's going to be... I'm going to need you to go ahead and just roll and add your dexterity modifier.
Oh, God, I'm such a bad... Okay.
Just trying to be a 12.
Okay. It is 11.
As you go.
Oh. It's like rules lawyer stuff. Oh. Nah, screw that.
Flying as best as you can the trajectory of his plummeting and the upper streams of air that have been battering him as he plummets have sent him off course. And as fast as you can fly, you try and kind of meet before you realize you're now trying to catch up with him, but he's falling faster than you're flying.
Wait.
How far is he from the ground?
Can you double the distance of yourself? And can you still have any sorcery points?
I'm just playing outfielder.
That's flattering.
Now's the time. Come on, Ashton, you motherfucker.
He is very off target, so you're going to have to try and rush off that.
At least be a wolf.
Hang on, let me think. What do you think? My instinct is for you to drop me. If you can get my instinct is.
But how close are we to him? I mean, like...
I mean, you basically tried to head him off, and then you got there a little bit too
And he's
late.
going down?
Now you're trying to chase him downward.
But you wouldn't fall faster than he would fall. Then I could fly down.
When I see them miss, I know I'm far away. I'm just gonna kick on my wing boots and try to go as quickly as I can toward him as a backup.
Terminal velocity. All right, I drop line now. I let go.
Okay. You are both plummeting at a comparable speed, unless you have a way of increasing that.
Try and go like Halo drop style and like, because he's unconscious, right? So he's going like this.
He is, but he's also a very dense figure compared to the flailing waif of a reed that you are.
Okay, so I have.
What'd you get there?
I thought I used both my wild shapes, but I still have one open.
You were trying to.
I'm trying to run under him, but not to catch him. Just as a last minute. You
just want to see him die?
So as I'm running, I'll take out the Staff of Dark Odyssey.
Okay.
But I got a long way to go. I can kind of see him. These fucking legs are tiny as
Ways
shit.
off. Do you have any way of increasing your movement speed?
I do have my Boots of Speed, which is a bonus action. Is that still Boots of Speed? Yeah, it's just a bonus action. So I can total 10 minutes. I only use them during combat, so I should have another.
That doubles your movement speed?
It does. So it's 80 feet instead of 40.
That is a faster fly speed. So with that,
it'll only be for 6 minutes, I think.
Oh, he'll impact before then.
Okay. I don't know how far.
So you are basically running as fast as you can, weaving through the crowd, and that's the biggest challenge here: is pushing through the crowd because the city is dense right now, and he is.
I am just going to grab a glass of water, but I'm still listening on the headphones. This is most
having to like carve through the crowd.
Hassan thing I'm going to do.
Could you make an athletic?
Do you watch Critical Role, Optimistic Writer? Spoiler alert for the last episode. Situation is that one of the characters is falling from the sky, and everyone else is trying to save them.
Check for me to see if you can manage to push through the crowd. I'd say athletics or acrobatics, your choice, to try and slip through untethered, to even try and get beneath him or somewhat within the radius of him falling.
Natural 20.
Yes, it is.
I do good tell that.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Okay. I have a wild shape.
Do you?
Yes. So I am going to shoe bill.
Oh, you watched this already?
Just try to.
Oh.
Triangulate here. We're gonna try
Apparently
and
some
triangulate.
Okay. What's your fly speed?
disagreements. I don't know. I'm learning as we go.
Stand by.
What's the shoe bill sound like?
Wow. Heroes using giant eagle. Stand by. What did you just ask me? What was
The fly speed.
Fly speed. I'm so sorry. My brain is so scared right now. 80 feet.
80 feet. Okay. And yours was 60 feet, right?
A fly, I think so.
Yeah. So you are a little bit faster, and you're about the same speed as Chetney. So both of you take off at the same speed. You can try and get there as quickly. He was dealing with the challenge of the group. You were dealing with the challenge of the winds.
Does it change if Orem hooks up and leaps onto the shoe bill's back? Does the flying speed change at all?
Not at Orm's
Okay, so he's riding along.
Okay.
Extra seconds, yeah.
All right, so as you take off with Orm on your back, the wind's buffeting you as you kind of like get over the hill. That cold wind is still blowing through, especially with the blast out of the clouds clearing the sky. There's kind of a vacuum that filled there, and now it still seems like there's a wee equilibrium of pressure that's starting to cause this sudden.
All right, Leon, I'll catch you later. No, I don't think anyone's thinking that. I think it's interesting. I think there's always going to be different opinions on these games and how they should be played. So it's fine. I think it's a healthy conversation.
Gust cantrip for this
as long as it comes from a good
try to
place.
help stabilize against the wind that's buffeting her.
Sure.
2 nat 20s, 1 episode. 1 8-hour episode, though.
Of course. Readjusting winds, I'll give you a minor bonus.
You said strength or dex?
I presume we're going to have more before the end of this.
Shut! It's a natural 20.
You guys saving them all like for right here at the end of the campaign?
I'll take a picture.
Slotting them in one by one.
Oh my god! I almost didn't roll that one too. I almost rolled a janky one just for fun. I'm so glad I didn't. Okay. No, I know. Oh my god.
Describe to me as how the two of you triangulate and stop the death plummet of your unconscious friend.
What are you doing?
Okay. Flying with Orem on my back.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So do we think the intention here was to have Ashton go into the sky, destroy the ritual, and then without anything else happening, if the players did nothing, he would fall to the ground and like die, and he would get a chance to be on the ground dying and say his goodbyes? No, because they just heal him. That's the problem with D&D. Or do you think the intention was never to allow him to die in any way, shape, or form? That's interesting. I'll find out. Okay.
and I just like really
Get
get
on
a
with
good
it.
wind gust, and it's, I'm going a little crazy, but then all of a sudden I just like get a really good glide, and I'm like, I know I got it. I'm just on the right path. I feel it.
Are you gonna try to grab onto his belt?
Yes,
or
so
get
I
underneath
think
it?
I'm gonna try with
The
my
PC sack for
talons to
himself.
try to
I informed
to try
him
to
that
just
this
grab
would
it.
permanently kill his character.
He's
He
still
agreed.
moving
Then after the
fast,
session, I
and
talked to
you
him
don't think
privately
you're
and
able to
asked if he was
intercept
good,
him.
and he felt it was epic. Yeah,
Just
that's a good way to handle
barely
it.
missing, but you're getting close.
Okay.
What are you working on?
I'm playing the greatest game of 500 ever, where I'm just running, tracking this thing, fucking coming as fast as I can, and the staff is out. And if he breaks like 100 feet,
Right, it's
I'm gonna
beacon
aim
completed the
the
ritual.
staff at him and hold one spell. The only thing I have slots left for, which is banishment. So I'm just doing this.
Okay. So.
I'm still
So
falling,
I
trying
have
to
to
get
be
within
within 60 feet of
and
Featherfall.
I also have to be within 60 feet for Featherfall, so
Yeah.
I guess whatever happens.
Exactly.
But I'm
So,
trying to get streamlined.
right, no,
Everything
understood.
is
So,
just
so, Lana, you are trying to keep up with him, but you're both falling at practically the same rate. Unless you have some way to try to propel yourself forward, you're both at terminal velocity, essentially.
I guess my movement's gonna be half of yours, so I'm half the distance behind you. I'm way behind, but I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're working, everyone's pushing me there. Race, you're just watching from a distance.
Now's our time, Asmodeus. We can betray them now.
Weirdly, no response.
I'm furiously painting this. Wow, this is great.
So you are not able to get to him in time to grab him. Orim, you
Yeah.
are.
How
Can
far
I
away?
hang off?
You're gonna try and do what?
Well, I think I've already used.
You've used your seedling,
that's
yeah.
fine.
I'm holding my beak, my talons.
Yeah, how close? How
Oh,
close?
go even closer.
Are we to him, and how close are we to them, and how close are we to the ground?
It's almost like you're both colliding here. There will be a moment where basically you would just pass overhead. You could try and.
Given I watched the episode sped up, is that recommended for usual CR sessions, or do you only do this given the sheer length of the finale? I am doing this. I normally don't. Normally, I'm doing stuff when I watch Critical Role. I'm like cooking or cleaning, or I'm like doing something else. I'm never like zoned in, just because my attention span is terrible. But I think. Specifically here, this is the first time I've ever been on stream and tried watching an episode, and it's as much for like the viewers as well, because this is going to pop up on as a VOD at the end of this and be on my YouTube channel for people to watch. So I kind of want to, I want it to be a slightly different experience to them just watching Critical Role on the Critical Role channel, because that's where they should be watching it really. If they're watching me and watching it and they just want to like watch it again and like have a chat about it and have a reaction, then I think sped up's better for that, because we can get to the bits to talk about faster. But I'm experimenting. We'll see how this goes. I also have to leave soon, and I want to get through as much as possible before I do. My original plan was just to skip through parts. Like, I wanted to watch the recap. I wanted to get a feel for the tone of it. I wanted to kind of see if there was any combat or anything like that, and then I wanted to see how they end it, just so that I could kind of turn it into a video about how to end campaigns. But now that I'm into it, I see that that's not really... You can't really see how he ends the campaign at the very end without actually seeing the full session, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I think what's probably going to happen is... I don't know if you guys enjoy watching me watch Critical Role, compared to a normal stream, which would be me more just chatting with chat. But I'll probably end this stream in a not too distant future, and then I may finish watching it in the next stream, or it might be split over 3 streams, because I'm new to streaming. I really like it, but I don't know. I say I'm new to streaming. I've not done it a ton. The idea of sitting here for 9 hours streaming is crazy to me currently, but we'll see. It's a very disjointed ending compared to most campaigns, even the other 2 campaigns. That, you know what would be really interesting? Maybe next session, actually, I'll pull up the last, 20 minutes of campaign 1, the last 20 minutes of campaign 2, and the last 20 minutes of this campaign, and we can see, how it's handled. And I could pull up the last 20 minutes of Dimension 20 campaign, and we can kind of and a High Rollers campaign. Like, that could be a video in itself. Just how are all these different DMs wrapping up these big campaigns? It's been enjoyable to have constructive conversations while also watching. Yeah, I hope it's not annoying that I keep pausing. Next video, how to end a campaign, and the only nat 20s. Yeah. I'm doing great at stream. Why, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like, I enjoy doing it, but it's nerve-wracking a little bit. 210 is that how they do or don't catch him. All right. We'll go to that.
And, like,
We'll watch
make
at a normal
grab
speed
for it,
to
but
see
you're
how
not
they
gonna be
catch
able to
him.
fully intercept or catch him. Like, it's
This is
all down to
classic
what.
D&D that players
There's one
falling
thing I
and
can
they
do.
spend 20
There's
minutes
one thing I can do if I was
getting
huffing it over
position
there,
to catch him.
I only have one spell.
Break his fall.
Paint him in riposte.
I was gonna. I could do plant growth to try to make
a
little,
massive tree to
cushion
cushion
for
him.
it.
Movement speed?
My movement speed is only 30, but plant growth I can cast 150 feet away from me.
All right. I think the speed that they have to travel, because they're like double moving at 80 feet fly speed over a number of rounds to
Sure.
even catch up with him as he's falling. I don't think you'd be able to get enough distance to cast the spell in time.
Then I'll just slowly walk over there.
Okay, while working on your painting.
While I'm painting.
Can I gauge roughly how far away I am from Ashton right now as we're falling?
Probably about 100 or so feet.
If I had fastball specialed her, though, like flown down and then chucked her instead of just letting her go,
I've got
Should've
a
gone faster.
Bro, the love you.
I've got a pitch.
Girl, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Sad.
You can tell me if you will allow this. One spell left that I'm saving for Featherfall.
Oh.
I've got 2 sorcery points. Yeah.
You've got the lava.
I don't have to.
You don't? She's just gone.
Well, she's not like active.
Can you make her active?
And do what?
I don't know. Use her.
All right. Well, kind of. Hang on. This is warlock shit. Got 2 sorcery points left that I can cash in for a 2nd level spell and do darkness. This is what I wanted to do the other day. 60 feet ahead of me and then use my shadow step. No.
Ooh!
To step into darkness? No. It's not gonna work, is it? Not
It's
gonna-
very clever.
That was a good idea, yeah.
Try
That
it.
was,
It's very clever.
What's the reading on shadow step?
Gotta be in shadow to jump to another shadow.
Does
Or
it
you're
say
like in
shadow?
darkness to jump to darkness.
that's
I
creative.
don't know how. What other?
Would you be able
I'd want to
jump
allow that even if it
underneath
wasn't
like
rules as
Ashton's
written.
incoming shadow as he's falling?
Or you just want to jump to the darkness?
You can jump into dark. You have no shadow to jump.
One of my PCs is an advanced mathematics tutor, so he goes nuts about physics in games. It's hilarious to watch.
into from where you are currently.
I
You can
like
cast
that
darkness
as
into
long
that
as they
shadow.
still
What shadow
allow
would
me
you
to
emerge?
break all laws of physics
Could
in
I
my
emerge
games.
from under Ashton? That would be sick.
Oh.
It'll be small until it gets closer.
You can certainly try.
This is it. This is all.
Yeah.
This is
It's a
great.
crazy move. Do it.
So,
Because we're all
peeking out of the
trying
rhino's
something and
butthole.
sort of failing, right?
so here's what I want to happen. I want one of the 2 of you to go ahead and roll an athletics check to try and grab Ashton. The other one giving the other advantage.
You do it. My
Yeah.
athletics is.
Yeah.
I need you, Chetney, to go ahead and roll a dexterity check to try and properly time and aim this spell to catch him possibly before the impact.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll my Dunamis die just for Ashton.
And Lada, I need you to roll a d20 and add your spell modifier to see if you can manage in the last few moments before impact to cast darkness, stumble into it.
If this
and
is a nat 20,
immediately
that would be
attempt to
wild.
Momentarily conjure a dark enough spot against the fading light on Ashton's plummeting body to crawl out of him.
How many of us need to succeed? One or
Dex
all?
saving throw or just regular?
Maybe
You'll
it's
find
like
out.
hedging our bets.
I think
If
we're
one
hedging our
fails
bets.
and you
Throw
come
or
up
regular?
underneath
Just a
it,
regular
he's gonna
dex, just
splatter onto
more
you.
dex.
Well,
So it's double whammies here.
I've got Featherfall. I just have to be. That's good. I'm gonna use my bow die because it never failed me. It's okay.
That was
bold to
danger.
say.
That was bold.
dangerous to say something like that as you roll it. That's too
Could have
stressful.
been a goldfish melon.
That is true. 19.
19.
I'm gonna spring from
19.
Shubil's wing down towards her talons and whisper, "Nanamore, your granddaughter, and I need you."
Yes.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Did you roll?
So.
What'd you roll?
21.
Okay.
So, you reach out, catch the edge of his boot loop as he's plummeting. Grab, and the strap breaks, just barely breaks on your grasp as he plummets out of your grasp. And the DC was 20. As it breaks and he tumbles, you.
20 on 20.
Oh, I was doing 20. You're right. So 20. So okay. So the order of this would be you. You cast the darkness. Sorry, flashback to attacking the darkness. You cast darkness and vanish into it and attempt to pull from the shadow of Ashton's body as it's turning end over end. As you begin to emerge from the back of his shadow, his body spins and the light casts the shadow from that side of him. And you instead emerge once more from the space of darkness where you were
Very cool.
The spell itself called back, and you are now plummeting him out of range. You go ahead and concentrate and get the banishment spell. You manage to grab Ashton. The boot snaps. You dive.
I was about to say,
harder in.
why can't they use Featherfall? But is Featherfall the touch? It's a range. You can like hit 6 people with it or something like that, I think. But they've got to be within like 30 feet of you or something like that. So if they could get there fast enough, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
As you do, you spin. This is interesting. You spin Seedling around, grabbing it.
Oh, they have to be
by
alive.
The vines on its hilt.
True that.
Using the handle of it to try and hook the inside of his jacket. It just catches him and strains your bodies. You just barely hold on with Vern trying to pull up as hard as you can. You feel it, both shoulders pop from their sockets.
Your Captain America moment. Except instead of a helicopter, it's just a
Spider-Man
person.
stopping the train.
It's a heavy person.
It's a heavy person. He's made of rock. Yeah.
And as you pick him up, the momentum of the fall and the density of Ashton still like pulls you and Ashley down a little bit, slowing his fall, which allows Chetney just enough time to properly aim and scatter Ashton out of sight.
In your head, you hear, "You killed him!" There you go.
I thought this was a good stuff.
Spell last minute.
Featherfall on myself and anyone else who needs it.
Wait,
Right.
I run up. If he comes out in a minute, he's still gonna be falling.
Is that how this works?
Well, I mean, yes. Get under him.
Momentum goes on.
Anything.
If he comes out facing upwards, he'll go back into the sky.
Wait.
Grow your grass, Patrick.
I'll cast plant growth, I guess.
Wouldn't he have been falling on whatever plane he was? I'm
Yeah,
saying
but it
from
could
the
just
air
be
into your
falling.
head.
I don't know what plane he
But
went
whatever
to.
plane,
The
if if
astral
he went to the
plane.
astral plane, he would just be flying
Different
really
plane of
fast as
existence,
the astral.
not
Wow.
the one that you're on.
He would either hit something on the other
Yeah.
plane or continue at full
That's
force.
for a minute. That's a long
I scanned
time.
the crowd. Is Widowgast here or the 9 here?
Oh, we're far away, aren't we?
No,
No idea.
As you've like rushed beyond the wall now, like crowds are rushing up and other figures are catching up. In the midst of all that's happening here and the shifting of movement here, indeed, both the Mighty Nine and Vox Machina have been rapidly gathering to see if they can help at this point.
Okay. So Widowgast saw the trajectory and is stalking out to that area and is already like pulling components out. And we are preparing telekinesis.
A moment passes. Everyone seems to wait for the right moment before you.
Yeah, it's fresh cut.
There you go. Right as you release the Staffborn spell, and Ashton reemerges at the spot, no more than maybe 30 feet above the ground. At terminal velocity, Widowgast, who can hold Ashton, immediately casts Featherfall.
Telekinesis.
And I will actually, it's telekinesis. This will be your.
Can I use the math and my keen mind to sort of match the force to slow him?
Correct.
As he comes down?
I'll say just go ahead and roll and add his spell modifier.
Yeah, okay. That's Widowgast. I'll make it. Dirty 20 again.
Ashton reappears and quickly slows down, caught in the telekinetic grasp.
What happened to him?
Your guess is as good as mine. Those host?
Thank you.
Set it down.
Yes.
But not on that blade of grass. That's Henry Crabgrass.
It's okay. You can set him.
He just slides in a prone position like a princess, just on his back down onto the ground.
I run over to him, them, and I heal them.
Well, the first thing you notice as you
Oh.
approach. Ashton remains in one single piece, other than the shattered cavern that is the side of his head.
Oh, fuck.
Larger than it was, or
where that crystal was exposed, it is now just a shattered gap.
Oh no.
Oh, damn.
Caleb, I can try to heal them. They don't know what this is.
Let's start with the basics. Is Ashton dead?
Yeah, Orm sprints up and is like feeling for a pulse.
I might be able to do something. Hyde is here. Can you just say hi? Hi.
Come on, Ash.
I don't know.
Come on, Ash.
You're so cute.
You're a rock. You're a rock. You're a rock. Come on, Ash.
Imogen flies in. Where's Fern?
She goes flying.
I've landed, taken off, and I'm just running over, and I'm just holding him. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Work out of curiosity.
Oh, because you had spread the dying on you.
Yeah, I'm nothing but that.
Oh, wait. You're Caduceus.
Yes. Yeah.
I know what.
Spare the dying.
Spare the dying. They're not dying.
Spare the dying is 0 hit points.
Correct.
Okay, so there's nothing. It's not taking, is what I'm saying.
He's dead.
Okay.
Cold.
Interesting.
Caleb pulls a large stone that is fastened to his belt, and it glows a faint amber color. I may be able to, if we act now, to help your friend.
What is that?
This is a transmutus stone.
What does that do?
But it will bring him back, if he wishes to come back. Which, as a wizard, transmuter stone can be destroyed to cast resurrection.
Right.
Okay.
Fern.
Yeah.
The two of you share an identity.
I thought if anyone was going to be gone,
Is there
it
anything?
would be Chetney.
I don't know.
To be honest.
I don't understand how it works, but you all are connected, primordial, from a primordial.
But it is
aspect.
interesting if people have an issue with like taking the player agency away from Taliesin to sacrifice Ashton. This is also like everyone else's agency. Like all the other players are trying to save him, so like you don't want to take agency away from them. Like if they can figure out a way to do it, you let them do it.
Do you think I could? What if I were
All right,
to give
I'm
him
gonna jump
my-
forward
my
to
shard?
225
Would that
then.
be a thing I could do?
I don't know.
Mr. Caleb,
So we're at 218 now.
I have a shard from a type.
So you begin to prepare the resurrection ritual.
Right,
As you begin to set
resurrection.
up the requirements for this ritual, the runes that kind of grasp the core of the being, that restores flesh, that restores color, that restores the anchor that the soul returns to.
Yeah,
it's
true.
almost like the space in the skull resists it.
It's not working.
It's not working.
That's with the transmuter stone?
No.
That's with the ritual. Did that eat my diamond?
I'm sorry, Vex. Ask your husband to get you more.
Do your thing.
I'm going to try to see if my transmuter stone will loosely fit into the crater in Mr.
Oh, that's fun.
And try to cast
A reactor arc.
Place it.
Arc reactor?
As you place the stone within, and it doesn't quite like fit snug by any means, but it fits inside the space. Now you as a transmutation specialist, you kind of envision it kind of taking up as much space as it can within and find connection. And
Yeah, my plan is now just to get to the point where I want to see what happens with Ashton. And if that's going to take hours, then I'll save it for another time. But if we're close, I want to get to there. And then I'll decide what we want to do next.
transmuting it to the best of your ability to the type of glass-like structure that you recall it being, but it's still not oddly finding purchase. There's something missing to this equation that you've tried to put together here.
Did you say there were runes in there, like in the inside of Ashton?
Just like it looks like the inside of a geode.
I'm gonna look at the Bright Queen.
Yes.
Give me your beacon.
Absolutely.
Next 10 minutes? Cool. Okay, we'll do that, and then I'll
Wait. Look.
figure out what's going on, because I'm supposed to
You
be
must be able to help. I
going
turn
to my
is
wife's
Essek here?
work party in like
Make a perception check.
a few hours. I'm going to get ready.
I'm not.
Oh, you're kind of late.
I'm sorry. Sorry. What am I? 18 plus 7. What's 18 plus 7? I'm fucking blinking. 25.
You do not see Essek anywhere nearby. You do see a somewhat shabby, bearded, familiar-looking mage who is kind of looking upon all this aghast.
Yes, hi, sorry. Do you have a potion? Do you have one of those Dumancy potions? Something, someone here must. Everyone in Exandria is here. There's got to be spare Dumancy.
You see, he looks at the Bright Queen, looks to you, looks to Caleb, looks to all of you. Comes over and sits next to Caleb, and Caleb, you recognize this common image that your partner takes. Oh.
Do you carry anything on you?
I carry everything with me. And he places his fingers over yours, and where the transmuter stone crystal is, you watch as his fingers pressing against yours begin to conjure the basis of Dunamantic script within the glass. And as it does, you see flickers and flashes. As the transmuter stone seems to almost expand and then contract. And for moments, you see the stone vanish, and it's empty once more. Then you see shards of crystal apparating outside, then slowly reforming. Like in this brief little pocket, time has reversed. And as the fingers press hard against yours to the point where the crystal, the transmuter
Run
stone
a
is now
game there and
gone,
stream
it's
it?
like nothing had happened. But Essek's fingers are painfully pushing into yours. And as they intertwine, sweat dripping from his brow, he pulls back and gets blasted away, his illusion dropping immediately. He's thrust about 5 feet back. And the kaleidoscopic flash begins to glitter on the inside of the head as the raised dead takes effect.
Oh, raised dead? What does that do? What, like, is he a zombie? Okay.
Your eyes flicker open.
Damn it, FCG.
Hey.
Am I dead? Because if I am, this is really a disappointment. No.
See?
No.
I'll run a game there and stream it.
I want to sleep.
I'm not going to lie, they've done that before. They've had a work party D&D sesh, which I think is such a great work thing to do, because it like brings teams together in really cool ways. But yeah, no, I plan on having a few bevies, having a few drinks, and then just chilling.
No, you get to do that.
We've been through this before. You have to call him Kingsley now.
Right off, Sam.
But 2 of her work colleagues are also in my D&D games that we run weekly, so I may be talking a lot of D&D.
You'd make a really good pirate.
I hate the ocean.
I look at Essek.
I look at the Bright Queen.
The Bright Queen stands watching as Kreen's soldiers now begin to move to encircle.
Caduceus is going to walk over and just do 2 little taps of just casting heal twice.
Oh, I was right here!
Yeah, but you don't like.
Oh,
you
you're a
don't
cleric?
like that.
Caduceus,
Tap tap.
you're so good at that.
So that's
I already said I was going to do it. I couldn't help it.
140
He's
hit
already
points.
dead.
to
Ashton.
To Ashton, and then
Can you imagine if
Just for
Caduceus
fun,
straight up like re-killed Ashton because he wanted the characters to be dead?
Little spirit guardians, just so I can kind of ignore the soldiers while we're doing this. So a bunch of little beetles are just going to start flying around where we are.
Okay.
We're all fine. They're not going to bother any of you.
As he's kind of gotten to his feet now, as the soldiers swirl in, he quickly flashes an incantation. Roll d20 for me.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Caleb is moving toward the Bright Queen, not threateningly, but within parley distance. It's a 9.
It's a 9. And a failure on the counterspell.
In a good way?
Meaning Essek is attempting to teleport away, and one of the approaching mages.
All right, this is good. I think this is a good ending. I think that is a good place to leave it. I feel like Matt should have asked Tell if he wanted Ashton to come back. I feel like he didn't really have a choice there. That's why I think he probably knew, right? I was saying earlier, like, Matt probably knows Ashton, probably knows Tellison better than, like most people know other people in the world. They're probably insanely good friends and colleagues. And I'm sure they've had many conversations about where they wanted to take Ashton. So, Jithor, thank you for the follow. So, like, I find it hard to believe that Matt would do something so against Tell's wishes. But who knows? Who knows? We've reached our follower goal of 540. Thank you, everyone. Genuinely, thank you. That's crazy. I sit here wondering, like, why I have more viewers on YouTube than Twitch, and I'm like, oh, because I have 10 times the amount of followers over on YouTube, which is crazy. I don't think I've spoken yet fully about the fact that I'm at 50,000 subscribers now on YouTube, which is wild. And I never thought that I would get there. So, thank you everyone who follows me over there. Hold on, where's good for this damn chat? There. No. Let's keep it up there then. That works. Whatever. I need to figure out a way to make it look nice. When I killed my player, they got input in how it would happen roughly. They explicitly set it up so the party could not save them. Right. Yeah, I think a good way to do it is also, depending on how they die, I've only ever killed one player. I've killed one player. I've only had one character die on me, and it was pulling from the deck of many things. And I think there's a card in the deck of many things called Pit, and a pit just opens up, and you fall down, and you take the damage from the fall. And they had just had a really heavy fight. So all the characters were injured as hell and didn't have any spell slots or anything. And he was pulling these cards. He pulled more than one deck of many thing cards. They knew what the deck of many things was all about. And I said there and then, are you sure? Because who knows what would happen? And they were like, I am sure. So it's like you put it all on their decision of whether to act or not. With the critical role thing here, it feels like it was the players. It feels like it was all the other players that were like, did everything in their power to stop him from dying. And I think that would happen. That would be fine. And I'm sure there's a world where like the character, Ashton, wanted to sacrifice himself, but he got brought back. And that can be a really cool character growth moment where he's like, later he could have been like, I wish you guys had let me die. right? It could be really interesting to do that. So deck of many things is disclaimer, this may end the campaign, do you consent? Yeah, they kept picking from it. I was like, guys, are you sure you want to keep picking from this? It could result in death. And they were like, I'm sure. Then he died. And it was like, well, you know, I did everything in my power there. Unless I just broke the rule, I was like, pick again or something like that. But it's interesting because a lot of the people who are like, probably on the side of like, if they wanted to die, you let them die, are maybe the same people who are like, well, if the dice say you die, then you die no matter what, you know? And it's a weird thing that's like that. Like, if a player really wants to live, do you let them live? And the answer is no. So if they really want to die and like the game says otherwise, then they survive. I think people miss the reading of Resurrection and so must be willing. That as well, yeah. Yeah, if they don't want to come back, they don't have to come back. Far worse things than Pit 2. In the deck of many things, yeah. Mind Flayer killed one of my PCs, but I gave them a choice of epic ending or a chance to be brought back. And they took the epic ending and gave them a last attack and got... Yeah, I'd like those kind of... Any homebrew rule that is like, you're about to die. What's the what? Yeah, you can sacrifice... Like, if you're unconscious, you can use up 2 death saves and die, but you get one last hit or something like that. I really like stuff like that. I think it's really fun. Because that's a mix of like, the dice have got you in this situation, but now we're gonna take control narratively and make it a good death if you want it. Mind Flayer killed one of my PCs, but I gave them I've read that already. Plus, the more deaths that don't matter, the less tension the game has. We're basically gods. Yeah. Yeah, you want like a really good balance of like, it's hard for deaths to happen, but also they can happen. And that's one of the hardest like balancing acts, I think, in long campaigns. I feel like in every campaign you have, like, and also as a DM, you can't like be actively trying to like kill them. So how do you make death a very solid possibility without killing them often? And the answer is just get them down to 0 hit points as much as possible. In balanced fights, make it hard, make them roll death saving throws as much as you can. This weekend you have your first campaign as a DM. Oh, are you excited? Try and enjoy it, Johannes, because they can be daunting and weird. And then, like, I feel like the first couple of sessions I did when I first started DMing were like, I don't know, they send you through like a psychological whirlwind, but if you just like concentrate on like you having fun and your players having fun, it'll be a blast. I'm sure you'll have a great time. It's a whole long video for you in the future. I've done a video actually on how pro DMs deal with death in games. I think it's really interesting. What's a small one for writing an opening for a grim dark setting, if you can think of anything? What's a small one? Just curious, I've got a mini lore story from a first person view. Oh, a tip for writing an opening for a grim dark setting. Oh man, just like go into the full it was a dark and stormy night vibe. Wax poetically about how dark and dire everything is. But it depends what you mean by opening. Are you like, I guess it's whatever you have planned for the rest of the campaign and what your characters are like. Dyslexia and autocorrect don't mix. Yeah. Oh man, I can imagine. But that's interesting. Yeah, I look forward to seeing what other people... In fact, let me have a peek in general now. Let me save that tab. I'm going to finish watching that in a bit. Is there any like is there any big news coming out from Critical Role at the moment? I know Daggerheart has a release date. But normally there's a bunch of stuff about like new campaigns and things. They've got new comics coming out. Daggerheart revealed. For those interested in Critical Role, a jump-on point is coming. That's true, yeah. This could be a reset where they can bring in new fans. Fireside chat tonight. Oh, I'm excited. I mean, the big thing is, have they said anything about using Daggerheart in the future? Or are they going to stay with D&D? That's the big question. Because it would be a pretty good marketing idea to like say like, hey, we have our D&D alternative coming out in 3 months, and we are starting a new campaign that only uses that. So the pre-opening before my opening monologue, like the first thing you say when opening a game, just a small lore-related story that I have a way of ending prematurely via secret death saves. Ooh. I have a new favorite way of starting campaigns, and certainly one-shots I'll do this, and it's start mid-fight. You tell your players to just be like, you've all ended up together and you're in a fight somehow. Like I did a pirate one-shot recently, and obviously all the players were on a pirate ship together and they were all aware of each other. Some people could have been brand new on the ship, others could have known each other for longer, but the opening was cannonballs fly through the sky, the ship gets torn to shreds, enemy pirate ships come from left and right, pirates swing onto your ship, roll initiative, right? And it's just, the fight is just happening and everyone's in it. And then when it's the player's turn, I say, okay, what do you do? And they'll be like, I run up to this guy and I slash him, and like, what do you look like as you do this? Describe what you're wearing, describe your looks, and describe how you move. And then they get to like describe themselves in action. And that's a very cool thing. And then it's really quick combat. You just make it 1 or 2 rounds, let everyone have a moment, finish the combat, and they're just in that world then. And that pirate session ended up with the ship going down, which was railroaded. It was always going to go down, and they were going to be the sole survivors of that and wash up on shore, and then that's how their group started. So I just think, yeah, starting like it with combat is a really good way. You have a feeling they'll go with Daggerheart? It's their system? Yeah, I think so, right? And I do wonder how much most Critical Role viewers care about D&D. I think they care more about the characters and the narration and like the style and the world. So I don't know if they care too much about the system. Yeah, have them running away from something they can't defeat. Have them see a more powerful NPC just get ripped apart by them and they have to run by the enemy. I want to buy the monster manual. Which version do you prefer to have? If you mean which version, as in which year, go for the newer one. It's better in every way. If you mean like, should you get the digital version or the normal version or the limited edition version? Limited edition version is so freaking cool, man. But most of the time, and I've got a video coming out which is a review of the new Monster Manual tomorrow, and I say this there, most of the time I'm probably just going to be using the digital version because it's just a database and it's just easier to use online than it is in book form. Dungeon Dude's own campaign, Dungeons of Drakenheim, is a dark setting, and they've been quite open how they made it. Nah. Yeah, Dark Souls type of speech intro as well, the dialect and narration style. Yeah, that's cool. And it depends on what rules you're using, 2014, 2024. Yeah, that's true. But like the Monster Manual's so kind of agnostic of that a little bit. It's minor changes. Plus 24 elephants can knock down a Turesk, no save if they hit on a chat. Is that true? I've not looked at that. Is that true? Honestly, prefer third-party monster manuals like Flea Mortals and Tome of Foes. I like the new manual. Yeah, I've got... oh God, where'd it go? Yeah, I've got Tome of Beasts by Kobold Press. That's solidly... Oh, hang on. I really like Tome of Beasts. Kobold Press did a great job with this. And it's huge. It's absolutely a thick boy. But honestly, it also depends on what you're using to play the game. Like, do you use D&D Beyond? Oh, in fact, this is on D&D Beyond now. Oh, there's a Tome of Beasts on D&D Beyond, so... But yeah, it depends what you're using, and... Because I find with, like, Monster Manual stuff, it's really useful to have some kind of, like, online tool with it, so that you can throw them into initiative or use CR calculators really easily. Yeah, Tome of Beasts is great. But honestly, that new Monster Manual, I hate to say it because, you know, it's a lot of... Hold on. Oh, this is the new Monster Manual. I hate to say it, you know, because part of me is so aware that the majority of this new 2024 D&D stuff is just to make more books and make more money. But this is the best Monster Manual, I think, ever made. It's definitely on par, if not better, than third-party stuff. But it's not like completely brand new and different. It's more of the same. It's just everything is slightly better. Yeah, I can't stop looking in this. It is nice. It's so nice. It's also fun to create your own when you get to read through it. And yeah. They've done a really good job of making it easy to read through, if I understand. Oh, and understand. Yeah, well, my favorite thing is just like the variety of, like, it feels like any any loopholes that players once had. I don't just mean loopholes. I just mean like I used an example in my latest short. In my last combat, first time using this, I used a shambling mound, I think it was. And it used to be the shambling mound just did slam attacks and did like bludgeoning damage. And I have a barbarian who, when raging, is resistant to bludgeoning damage, so would only take half damage. And I think that's very common. Like, a lot of creatures did just bludgeoning damage, and you just could not kill a barbarian at all. And now they've added more damage types. So the Shambling Mound does some bludgeoning damage and some lightning damage. And it just it's such a small change, but it stops the players having these loopholes where you can't down them. The Turesk is another example. It's like, there's that whole loophole with the Turesk where you could just stay at a distance because it had no ranged attacks, and you could just slowly take it down. But now it has a ranged attack. So it's like not insane. They're not changing massive things. They're just like adding little bits here and there just to make it more fair when it comes to those kind of loopholes. Finding things is 100% easier in the new Monster Manual, except Geeks with Scarves. I agree with you. I don't like that they've taken... In the old Monster Manual, they had a list of NPCs stat blocks at the back. And I really liked that. And now those stat blocks are still in here as humanoid stuff, but they're spread out all over the shop. And I partially wish they still had them separate. But no, there's no winning here. Like, every DM's going to be different and have different preferences. I think this is probably the best way to do it for most people. I also love the new Terrestrial tweaks, yeah. And legendary actions are good at catching up. Thanks for streaming. No way, Little Smile. Have a good one. But yeah, it's solid stuff. I don't know. I've been really happy with this. But as I say in my review, as you'll find out tomorrow, it's not as big a change as like the other core rulebooks. Like I think the player's handbook is like so much like prettier and well organized with like actual rule changes that do change the way the game plays. So it's like a bigger jump. And then the DMG is a massive difference. Like DMG is like 100 times better than the old DMG. It should have happened a long time ago that they brought a new one out. That's a game changer. And this one is still better, but it's not like the huge leap forwards as the other two. This is just kind of like taking what worked and like, you know, making it slightly better. The art is goddamn nice though. The art is so nice. Are there any new Moon Druid wild shape options for elves? I don't think there are. Right? Je passe les bonjour de France. Hello? Je suis anglais. I don't... I'm not a huge French boy. The layer actions have been removed. Hang on, let me find an example. But like, they've still got... Like, I don't know. I've not noticed any major issue with it. And it's such a scapegoat for like fanboys. I'm going to sound like a fanboy, but you can just homebrew layer actions. Like you can put your own stuff in there if they're in their lair. And then it becomes more about like the environment they're in rather than the monster, right? But yeah, I would say... So. They did get rid of a lot of monster resistance to weapon damage. And they buffed HP. So it works itself out. Thank you for the follow, Lycanthropy. Thank you, Lycan, for the follow. Very kind of you. Yeah, they got rid of monster resistances, a lot of them, and they just added their HP, so it kind of works out, and it means that players can do more damage. Like, I think that's... I'm fine with that, to be honest. What was the other thing they did that was somewhat controversial? It'll come to me. I talk about it all in the video, but rest assured, like all the changes in this book are like here to make the game better. It's not like they're just taking these things out for the hell of it, which was a fear that they were just making changes for the hell of it, just so they could sell a new book. But it genuinely, I don't know. I've also only played one game with it, so we'll see how I feel after a few months of playing with it. But so far, this whole 2024 update, if you gave me the option of going back to 2014 or continuing to play 2024 from now on, I think I'm all in for 2024. You know, is it perfect? No. Did they fix it? No. But is it better? I think so. You've noticed a lack of resistance to magical and non-magical weapon attacks that you like. Such a useless feature past level 5, yeah. It's also me. Alright guys, thank you so much for popping in. I'm gonna end the stream because I gotta go and get ready to go to a spouse's work party. But it's been a pleasure as always, guys. So thank you for watching. Make sure you go like the video now while we're in here. Thank you for the follow, Dark Adder. Thank you, Geeks for Scarves. I hope you guys have a good night too. But yeah, like the video and have a great time. And you all have inspiration. So make sure you re-roll those bad rolls. Catch you later. DXBZ. Out. That is a salute, by the way. It's below my head. Bye.